Oh, hello. Welcome to the pre-show of the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm Barrett. This is Joey. Kevin's in the background being rubbed by Porty.
He's getting everywhere.
Oh, shit. Tim Gettys is coming through. Okay. All right. Bye, Tim Gettys. What is up, chat? How was your weekend?
How was your weekend, Barrett?
It was super chill. Alyssa went to go dye some kids' hair, so we went over and did that, and that was real fun. Got
Did
to meet
you also? Well, I guess we're not talking about that. The second part of that. We'll talk about that next week.
The second part of that. Oh, the thing for Wednesday?
Yeah.
Gotcha. No, we're not. We did prep for that though. I won't say what we were prepping for, but
You guys will find out soon enough.
DJ Kento, as I've been watching the new Twilight Zone and the mics coming on, scared me so much, Barrett. Don't watch Twilight Zone in the middle of the day, you silly.
Or immediately watch Twilight Zone. First episode on YouTube, in case you want to watch it.
Oh, is it really?
Oh, it's just fully up on YouTube.
Also,
That's rad.
did I also
Was
just
it good?
freaking... I haven't watched it yet. I discovered that at like 3 o'clock this morning. I was like, it's an hour long. That's probably not a great idea.
Your sleeping schedule is kind of messed up because...
Well, it's because I fell asleep at 10 o'clock and then I had a weird ass dream and I woke up at like 1:30 and then I couldn't go back to bed and then I went back to bed. And
Gotcha.
But yes, I have had a weird ass sleeping schedule.
Yeah.
But all of the shirts finally done.
Got 2 sent back,
I
but
know.
2 out of 1,000. Pretty good
so
score so far.
far.
Yeah.
No, they all haven't been sent out.
You don't know that, Kevin.
Well,
Have
they
they?
should be now. They're all
Have they?
packaged and stuff like that. I think Cool Greg
But
sent
they
out the
haven't
last of them today.
Excellent.
But
yeah.
I also signed up for freaking CBS All Access because
Damn, they got you.
I know.
They got you with that Star Trek Discovery.
I know.
Yeah, my weekend was pretty chill yesterday. Just kind of did a bunch of random chores and stuff. Finally got my friend Andrew Taylor, also an old school kind of funny
Papa
about
Drew Bear.
Yeah, sent me a Star Wars: The Last Jedi poster a while back, like 2 or 3 months ago, and I never posted about it or did anything because all right, Kevin. I never got a frame.
God, he's the worst.
He's the fucking worst. I never got a frame for it, so I finally got a frame. I framed that right outside Andy's bedroom because I thought that would be fucking hilarious.
Did you
This is the
see
first thing he sees every morning after he leaves the...
Did you see my comment?
Yes, I did see your comment on Instagram. And then... Yeah, what else did we do yesterday? Watched a lot of Avatar. Got a Harry Potter Lego set, which was dope.
You building a shit ton of Legos.
Yeah, we got the Whomping Willow Lego set, which was it was like $15 off, and I was like, Alyssa, you either have to talk me into this or out of this. Which one is it? And she was like,
Alyssa's an enabler.
yeah, she's an enabler. So got that.
Especially when it comes
that.
to Harry Potter things.
Rewatching Avatar, so we're in the middle of season 3 right now. So
Porty, come here.
Port. How was your weekend? What'd you do?
So Friday night I was here till way too late.
Yeah.
Like I think I got home finally at like 5:30 or 6. Because then once you like push through the initial thing and you get that second win, then I was like, well,
Let's
shit, I
fucking
better
go.
like catch up on all the other stuff I haven't done because of these shirts. So then I was doing all of that stuff. Then I kind of had like an effed sleep schedule on Saturday, and that made Saturday weird. Then Sunday I met up with Lauren Puga,
Okay.
who's around on the internets. She and I went to brunch.
She's a big fan of the Disneylands.
The Disneylands,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
She's telling me about her Disney World trip that's coming up soon.
Oh.
We were talking about a lot of things, including how into hot dad Winston Duke we are both into.
What? Who?
Winston Duke?
Winston Duke. Why
From
is that?
Us?
Oh,
And how much we
yeah.
love
He
hot
is.
dad
He was
Winston
he was a thick dad in that movie.
Yeah.
It was hot, and he
Nerdy,
was funny.
Thick dad? Yeah, totally into that.
Yeah.
And then I did some laundry, like a metric shit ton of laundry.
I did a lot of last minute laundry last night.
Or I didn't buy, but I got $60 worth of quarters from the
Oh, man.
band. I was like, oh man, I really need to.
Yeah, last
work on
night I
this.
did a lot of last minute laundry, and then I stayed up a little too late playing MLB The Show, which is super fun. I haven't been this into an MLB The Show game since 2015.
I've heard it's like the best MLB The Show that they've put out
I
in
haven't
recent years.
fucked around with any of the modes, like the cool modes, like Road to the Show, or there is also the other one. I think it's like March to October, I think is the new one. But yeah, there's all these like cool modes that I do want to check out. But then I get when you put me into franchise and I start just building up my franchise, it's hard for me to get out of that loop because I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, let's just do the next like fucking season of games. Man, I love it so much.
The show's great.
Yeah.
I'm
so glad baseball's back.
About your floral bomber jacket.
Thank you.
I feel like you and I. I feel like you and I have been talking about floral bomber jackets for almost as long as I've known you.
Yeah.
It looks pretty plugged in.
Yep. Only mics 2 and 3 are plugged in.
Cool. Glad we checked that.
I appreciate you, Joey. Thank you very much.
No
I will say it's not my dreams, specifically because the material. It's kind of like a garbage bag, so it's very hot. I can only wear it
very
for limited
loud.
times. It's very loud.
Oh, what's
in
up,
every way.
Uncle Nicky?
Here's my question,
But
Tim.
it's not as bright as I expected.
Is there a 70-year-old woman running around going like, who just stole
Where's
my
my
jacket?
couch?
Yeah, it does look like my grandma's couch. It looks like my grandma's nice couch because my grandma had a room. It was a nice room that no one was allowed in. And when she died, we all went in there
Did
and
it have
drank coffee.
plastic?
Yeah, the plastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But the plastic was like, here's what I'll never understand. I'm like, did they make the plastic just for this couch? Because it was perfect.
Well, now
Yeah.
it's perfect for jackets.
It looked like someone like shrink wrapped the couch.
I think
Old
that's what
people
they do.
are like perfect in finding the right shapes for everything.
What's
Or
amazing
they
is
only buy couches that have matching plastic.
Oh, I mean,
sets.
There you go.
Like when I was a kid, I was like, "This room is stupid. Why would anyone have a room that no one can touch? Who could possibly be that big of a control freak?" And now that I'm pushing it, I'm like, I could have a room like that.
Why do all old
Dude,
people
your
have
whole
that room
house
though?
is like that.
What's that?
I don't know.
Like my aunt had that room too, and it really confused me.
I think it's the nice room when people come over that they actually like.
It's
they'll
like
let
the
them sit in
family
room.
reunion type of
It's
room.
the fancy room.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, we're doing a dinner party. Let's go sit in the fancy
That
room.
all sounds horrible.
But my favorite thing was you'd sit on the plastic and just kind of slide off a little.
Yeah,
I was always
just a
fun
little
when I was
bit,
a kid.
just like half an inch. Yeah, it's always in case like the president comes in town. Not the current president, but when you're growing up and the president.
Right. If Nixon was in town, my
Yeah,
grandmother
like,
would've been
oh, we're
having Nixon over.
We got a fancy
Exactly.
room, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
What's
yep.
funny is maybe I'm looking back on it right now, and I'm just like a therapy session. I'm like, maybe it was just me. Maybe because I was such a fucking dirty little kid. Maybe when I came over, she was like, "God damn this kid," and just
Yeah.
put plastic on everything.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it literally looked like that.
I
Scene
can
from,
imagine
like-
you being really sticky as a child.
Oh yeah, because my grandmother had a cupboard.
Yeah.
In the back room in the washroom.
Yeah.
Back in
Yeah.
the house. And I would just immediately walk and go, "Hi, Grandma," and walk to the cupboard and raid it and just eat all the chocolate. And all of it was stale because she was old and had no concept of time anymore. So I was like, this shit's like you ever picked up a piece of chocolate, like a Hershey's chocolate bar, and it's like powdery?
Yeah.
It's so stale. Where you're like, this
Yeah.
lost all moisture.
Gross. Ew.
Not into it.
How was Kansas City, y'all?
It was dope.
I
Yeah.
assume that's what the podcast topic's going to
Yeah,
be
we're
about.
gonna talk about
I'm
that.
very excited to hear about it. There was
Okay.
a lot of, I feel like a lot of things happened.
A lot of little
And I'm
stories
trying to
that we're
piece it all
just
together.
Yeah.
Zach Brown says in the chat, says, "Hey Nick, I found some loose Nutter Butters in my backpack from Saturday. If I ship them to you, will you slip them in Greg's pocket?" No.
I will.
We're officially ending that joke.
What?
It was too much.
It was too much.
Yeah,
Hey, Barrett.
it was too much.
Can you unwrap Joey's mic and then put the
Oh, yeah.
plug in? I'm getting a weird tone. Oh yeah, that's it. That was it. Who's fucking with these cords?
That was
man?
it.
I don't know. Not a fan of
Oh,
whoever
now
did
it's
that rap
stronger.
though.
It's stronger.
It's stronger.
Oh no, it went away now. It was stronger for half a second.
Interesting.
going on?
So
Because it
this
wasn't
is
even plugged in.
the other jacket that I got.
Oh.
Now here's
Oh,
the-
that's why, because you're ordering
cool
from
jacket.
Fashion Nova.
Yeah, dude.
I don't
let's
like
go.
this jacket.
Fashion
Now,
Nova's
here's my problem with it is obviously I don't want a windbreaker, and obviously I don't want the weird hood thing. But that design is fucking awesome.
It is
that.
cool.
I'll take that.
I want a bomber jacket in that color. Like, why do they make my life hard?
You have to just be patient and wait till Cromwell releases his line
That's
of
just
bomber
gonna be
jackets.
expensive though. That's not gonna be $25.
Yeah, but it's going to be quality and it's going to be worth it and it's going to be dope.
I just feel like
AF.
there's a threshold that I just won't drop below, and anything that's $24.99, that's a jacket. I'm like, I'm not gonna. This thing's gonna just shred apart.
Too good for
But that's the thing is, like-
$25 jackets.
You wear
I'm
it for
not
the
worried.
camp. You know what
Did
I
you
mean?
send
They
me
don't
that
fucking
thing,
know.
Andy?
They don't know the difference. They could think this is $500.
You wore that to lunch today.
What's your point?
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta wear it. It's gonna just disintegrate.
I mean, I have worn the same blue bomber jacket since 2015.
Fair.
And it was $20.
That's fair.
Damn.
Is there pockets in the holes? Yeah, there is.
Right now?
guys.
You have-
no. But
you have
my
pocket
original
pockets?
Blue one.
Your
I
pockets have pockets?
Yeah, but I don't use the pockets anyway. It's uncomfortable to like, you know.
I use the pockets all the time.
Yeah, same.
I'm
Use
a
your
po- I'm a
pockets.
pocket guy.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm a pocket guy.
Fashion over
Weirdo.
function, dude.
Oh,
Your
man.
jacket's not for functionality.
Pocket guy.
This is why, of the Try Guys, you're the Eugene
Thank you.
of Kind of Funny.
What am I?
Thank you.
You're Ned.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ned really
Is
likes
Ned,
dog.
Is Ned the cool one?
Ned really likes
He's
his
the,
wife.
he is like the older one who's married.
Older, sexier one. Yeah, it's
Sure.
Ned.
He really loves his wife.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
It's sexy. Loves his wife. Yeah. You guys are nailing this.
Friends have said, just get it, Tim. No. I got it. Don't worry. I'm probably wearing it tomorrow.
Lexi Gunner says, I miss Polly Pocket. Shout out to Polly Pocket.
That's weird.
Fuck was Polly
'cause
Pocket?
We were talking about pockets. Polly Pocket was the
toy.
tiny girl thing where it was like a clamshell design where you'd open it up and be like a mini dollhouse, and they were small. But then the boy version was Mad Max. You might
I don't think
remember
I ever had
Mad
that.
Max, Mighty Max,
That-
Mighty
Max.
That sounds
was a dope
vaguely
cartoon.
familiar.
DJ Kendo says, is Kevin Zach?
No,
No.
Andy is Zach
Andy is
because
Zach.
they're kind of like nerds.
They are weirdly similar.
Yeah,
There's a
like
lot
you
of
can't
guys.
describe. Yeah, like you
Kevin,
can't
can you
describe.
bring up
There's a
the Try
small
Guys?
discrepancy between us and them. About a million.
But they're
and a half
also, the
subscribers.
Try Guys in
Yeah.
general are like pretty nerdy and like to play games and all that stuff. We should do
There's
collab.
like I can't say why Andy and Zach are pretty much the same person, but they just are for some reason.
Yeah.
I ordered their hoodies, one for me, also one as a belated birthday present for Alyssa.
These guys
Yep.
fucking get it. Look at this Try Guy. Like they match their
those
ensemble
Easter
to the
colors
back.
are great.
Yeah.
So pretty. Which one's the sexy one? I'm clearly guy on the right, right?
God,
No,
we,
you're red.
We
Yeah,
lack
you're red.
so much talent. This is brilliant.
That's so good.
Tim is purple, Andy is green, and Greg,
Greg
is
is-
blue.
Tim, your favorite color? Purple.
Yeah, purple. You know what?
And Greg is
Second.
blue.
Yeah.
I tweeted out like the other day, like, who do you think is who? I got
mean,
a lot
that
of different
looks
answers.
just like Tim with that beard.
Inevitably, everyone said that. The only one that everyone agreed on was that Greg is Keith.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of variance between
I mean,
the rest of the
he
three of you.
definitely is though.
Yeah.
So Tim's
Down to
purple,
loving
Andy's
chicken?
green, and I'm red. I'll take
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Red guy has like he's thinning a little bit.
He's got a cute dog.
Does he? What's
He's
his
a
dog's name?
Bean.
Bean. That's cute. Listen, man, that's a cute name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't fault that. Yeah. Let me see Bean. Show me Bean. Oh my god.
He's a chocolate lab. He's so
That is
cute. There's a video where they all
That's a cute
swap
fucking dog.
dogs, and
That's
it's
a
very funny.
labradoodle, right?
I think so. I have to go take a call.
Yeah, they all like
on,
dog
Joey.
city each other's dogs, and it's great.
I like dogs a lot. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did an episode where they did drag. That was
Cool.
a good one.
That's sensitive.
That's sensitive. What's that even mean?
Yeah, what are you trying to
I just know that
say?
if I pitched that episode, you guys were like, Nick, no, it's not going to come off the way we want it to come off.
And you
Well, they
really
didn't do
like
it as a
drag.
joke. They like actually like learned like the the nuance of performance in
Nick
that.
loves
Of a
drag.
drag queen?
Yeah.
I do. I mean, let's go to Asia SF right now.
Have you ever been?
Not driven by it a bunch of times. Though. I
Yeah,
want
me
to go.
too. I've never been. We should go.
I've had friends that have gone to shows. They're like, it's fucking hilariously awesome.
Sounds like it sounds familiar. I'm pretty
It's
sure
a
my mom's been there.
historic
Like,
drag bar.
iconic San
Yeah.
Francisco thing.
But they put on a show and like they're outside. They have like a step and repeat with lights and stuff. It's fun.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Leon Fuentes says, anyone remember Dragonflies with a Z? There was a girl version I don't remember.
Dragonfly
Yes.
sunglasses?
And I forgot the name of the thing too. It was something princess, and then it was like you'd hit a button and the thing would jump up and it had a little propeller and like they'd.
Have you seen the little? It's basically a fun clip of like the girl having like the Barbie version, and then it flies into
the fire
into
Yeah.
the fireplace.
We had that on Fun Clips at some point.
It's so good.
DJ Kanto says Mighty Max was way fucking cooler than Polly Pocket. I'm pretty sure you were the target audience versus Polly Pocket for that one.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember those things like vaguely in like first grade. I don't remember Mighty Max. I remember
Those things were
Polly Pocket.
popular when me and Kev were
Dude,
like
they
in
were
that
so
perfect
cool.
toy age where it was
Yeah.
like between 4 and 7 for us.
Yeah.
Where it started with Mighty Max and Polly Pocket, but then there was licensing deals.
Gotcha.
So like imagine a pre-Lego Star Wars world where like Legos were just
Legos.
Legos. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't like any licensing. With Mighty Max, they eventually did like Ninja Turtles, and that's where we got really into it.
So
Gotcha.
cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah, these things were dope.
Like, it's absurd how many they have. Like this isn't all of them. There's more. I think on this one, right?
Andy, how do you like that poster that I put outside of your bed?
Come
was
look at
aptly
Ninja
placed,
Turtles,
yeah.
Mighty Max.
Yeah. Whenever I need to take a shit, I think of The Last Jedi. I don't even hate it that much. I'm just doing that to fight back.
Yeah.
On the smallest wall in our apartment,
that
Barrett
one.
put up a Last Jedi poster. And it's like in front of my room when I walk out of my room. It's like, it's terrible placement for a poster, first off.
We needed
Not
we-
just because you're trying to troll me.
No, it was mainly just to troll you, but I weirdly like the
It
placement.
needs better placement. That wall is like
We already put
useless.
nails in
the
it,
wall's
though.
like 2 feet tall, maybe.
Like, do you think wide?
Yeah, wide.
Or whatever, yeah.
It fits perfectly in the wall. And it also is great because it's the first thing you see every day when you leave your bed.
Yeah, it's perfect. A lot of people say it's the best Star Wars movie ever made.
Yeah. You have to be, it's a thinking man Star Wars
It is
movie.
thinking man Star Wars movie.
Yeah, kind of like
Subvert
us.
Your expectations.
Yeah. You got to be smart, super smart to get it, dude.
I know we're joking, but this is getting me mad.
There he is. Bring me the wiener dog.
Demetrius Newell shouting out creepy crawlers. It's true.
Creepy crawlers.
They have an edible creepy crawlers.
Everything
Yeah,
was
Kev.
edible if you tried hard
No,
enough.
that was the other one. That was the
Sure they did. We'll get you some, Kev.
doctor something. No, it was actually a big
KFAF
legal thing where
taste test.
creepy crawlers wasn't allowed to be edible.
I don't know if this is edible.
Check your Slack. I put in a new thumb.
Okay. I'll switch it tonight.
I don't see it. I'm kidding. I saw
Look at this here.
wow.
Andy, did you plug in your mic deeper?
Hot.
Like
Now?
now?
Must go deeper.
Yeah, I went away.
Zach Rams, does anyone remember Go-Go's, or were those super small in popularity?
I do not remember
No
what
idea.
Go-Go's were.
No, I don't know what a go-go is.
I remember the penguin who I could put stuff in his belly and it turned out it was a girl's toy, but I still liked it. But then I told the girls that I liked it and then I got laughed at.
Yeah.
And I still loved that penguin. Didn't care.
I get it, dude. Somebody help me. Let me know what the edible one was.
They're called gummy bears. Let's get some.
Light
No,
bread
there
was
was
cool,
like some
Jamie.
weird doctor, like some mad scientist.
Dr. Creepy Crawler.
No.
Oh, it's the ones that, yeah, it was like our version of the
Okay, pay
fucking...
attention.
Easy
All right,
bake oven.
somebody's
Easy bake
saying-
oven, yeah.
DJ
Go for it,
Kento's
man.
saying creepy crawlers 100% had edible candy.
But that was there was a lot of legal battles, and then eventually they were allowed to. But in
But
the beginning,
they did
they
at some point.
yes, but
Okay.
for a long time they
yeah.
weren't allowed to because the other company had the edible stuff.
Hey,
And
plug in your mic a little deeper.
Get in there.
God, Greg.
That was you. Don't be
No,
afraid.
That wasn't it. That wasn't it.
It was the microphone. It wasn't a burp.
Demetrius Newell says Crossfire had the hottest jam though.
did.
You get caught up in the
Crossfire. Now, I don't watch kid commercials anymore, but I assume they're not nearly as good as ours. And
No,
everything
they're all
sucks.
stupid and
I
Disney.
got a taste of fucking TV when we were in Kansas City. And just
Where?
like watching
what
that...
kids TV were you? Oh, you watching?
I
in
was
the
just
hotel?
like surfing through the channels, and it takes like 6 seconds to change the channel.
Yeah.
So I just like I gave up
Whatever.
and landed on
Whatever,
whatever.
right.
I'd hit up on the button and wait. Black screen, black screen, black screen, black screen. Okay, next channel. It was horrible, dude.
I know.
But I left it on. Yeah, just like I kind of re-experienced fucking infomercials. I haven't seen one of those
Sure,
in a long
sure.
time. They were all terrible. It's like TV's bad, dude. TV sucks.
TV is
It's
terrible.
Dr. Dreadful's
TV is
Incredible Edibles. That's what it is. Thank
The
you, guys.
incredible edible.
Do you remember the day back in the day when like the TV in hotels was like the height of technology?
Yeah.
You'd go and you're like, this is amazing.
They got an
Remember? You could just,
N64
like-
controller
Oh my
built
God.
into the
It's
TV.
Always that.
That was
Because it was
cool.
hot.
Bulky ass third party one.
Disgusting.
God,
Never
so
clean.
cool.
So gross. It's just
So
gross
funny.
as hell.
Yeah, I got a taste of that on the flight back from Kansas.
By the way, we started the show.
Okay, great. Yeah. Right.
This is it. Where we starting about when
Right.
we started in this. When Andy said was like TV sucks, I think is where we should start.
There you go. Got a taste of it on the flight back. So flight to Kansas City this weekend. They had the little seat that said, "Hey, by the way, you have the United personal in-flight like entertainment," which normally is great. Honestly, like I talk a lot of shit about United, but I was like, "This is what? This is ridiculous. I have to use my own screen." And then I fired up the app and the thing. I was like, "Oh, that's actually pretty cool," because then I can like my phone's better than any screen that's going to be out there.
It's not all
gonna be-
gross and
it's not
disgusting.
disgusting, and I can touch it, and it's better fidelity. And you can also plug it in, which is great. Anyway, didn't work though. I was like, it's not connecting to Wi-Fi. They fucked me.
On any
They
of the
fucked me
flights, right?
good. Any of the flights, the Wi-Fi was shit.
I had Wi-Fi on both my flights.
But so we get back on the way back. I'm like, oh, it's a bigger plane. Surely the thing's gonna work here. Look in. It's got one of the screens. I'm like, dope. It's a screen. It's all built in, just like Virgin used to be, where you can just select which one you want.
Rest in
and
peace.
it's
Oh, no.
the old
It's not a
school.
touchscreen.
Hey, the movie's starting in 5 minutes. If you don't start with it, you just gotta come in halfway through the movie.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It was not opposite.
It
You
was
guys are
bad.
so set in
Horrible,
on
dude.
United, and I feel like this was the worst trip to like
Anyway.
kind
That was
of make you
terrible.
want to
Both
stay with
flights
United.
were entertainment wise were terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Virgin
Trust
America's dead. They all suck. What do you want?
Yeah, Alaska.
A lot of people
Alaska
keep
fucked
a lot
us.
of people keep talking about this fucking Delta garbage. All right, I'm not even gonna entertain Delta. All right, I got things going on.
There's like a ringing noise still, like when we talk. I can't isolate who it is.
We got a ringing noise
Check
when
it
we
out.
talk.
So I'm gonna go in there and just
So
make sure
check it out.
everything's
Where
plugged in.
does the time go?
Get in there, Kev.
Get it.
Yeah,
Get
man.
deep.
Planes, they're hard. They cause a lot of problems.
I mean, there's just no good solution.
there's no good solution.
But okay, so why do you hate Alaska?
They're not Virgin America, and their
Their status
flights don't go
program-
everywhere.
Their flights don't go everywhere. Their international stuff is very much lacking, and their status stuff is they totally screwed over long-term supporters. Like
you
me and
lived
Greg.
here. You worked here last year. You know how much I fly, and you're telling me I didn't even hit like MVP. I didn't hit MVP gold on fucking Alaska, which I already had.
And he
You know
was
what I mean?
that committed to Alaska. He flew everything.
These guys have like Alaska credit cards, and
we had Virgin America
and,
cards.
and
Until
like
they
at one
fucked
point
us.
they were like, "We'll give you an extra 1,000 points if you get an Alaska tattoo." And Greg was like, "Oh, put it on my butt. I want it. A Virgin America tattoo, Alaska on my butt."
And so it just came. We had to pick somebody else. And Tim did the research. I didn't do the research. Tim just does the research. And he said United's the best thing that we could do.
I mean, it's the biggest airline on the planet.
Yeah, it's
So
United used to be the one that I used to take the most, and never had a good experience.
no,
like
I mean, there are multiple episodes where you can go back in the Game Over Greggy show back in the day where we just
Talk
talked
shit.
about United.
for someone who
But
is my height,
United's never tried to throw us off the plane for taking a poop.
true.
for someone
Yeah.
who is my height,
Which one was that,
I
Delta
should
or
not
Alaska?
have any
That was
trouble
Alaska.
reaching down if I drop something. Like dropping something is a death sentence on these fucking flights.
Isn't that
If you
every-
drop something on the plane,
yeah.
and,
You're not
and,
getting
and
it
other
back.
flights I can reach down. Why is there so little room on these flights? It's
It's so weird. 'Cause
crazy,
you were like
dude.
the seats. You got off that first
Horrible
flight,
plane,
and you were
dude.
like the seats uncomfortable and there's no room. I had the complete opposite. I was like, "There's a lot spacious," and I like the seat. And the second one, I was like, "This fucking seat's huge." It was huge.
Oh, the second flight was fine.
Yeah.
The first flight was just dreadful.
That was a regional plane, though, right?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Both of them were. Yeah.
Here's
The-
what
on
shouldn't
the-
exist.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Shouldn't exist.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Lay it on me. What are you going to say?
Fucking plane should have the following: Wi-Fi that works. I don't care if I have to pay for it. It'd be nice if it didn't have to, because we're a fucking Wi-Fi world now.
We're gonna get there eventually.
The fact that you make me
No, we
pay for
won't.
Wi-Fi is just absurd. It's absurd.
Some other airline will do it where they say it's free and then it'll be a domino
Right,
effect.
exactly. Wi-Fi on every plane, that's good. Good Wi-Fi. Not like you can check your fucking AOL account from 1996 with this
Sure.
Wi-Fi. I want to be able to stream shit on this Wi-Fi. 2, power outlets at every fucking seat. I'm tired of not being able to charge something. If you're gonna make me use my screen, you gotta let me charge my fucking phone.
Was that happening on United?
That was the first one didn't let me use my screen, but didn't have the power. The second one had the power, but you had to use the stupid fucking CRT in front of my in a chair.
You
in front of
had
me.
to use that. You couldn't use the United
No,
Wi-Fi.
it
that
The
didn't
app
work.
never worked for me ever. On the way over there, it's like log into the thing or whatever. Cool, I'm on the thing, and then it says, "Oh, you can't watch this episode unless you enable airplane mode." But then airplane mode turns off the communications, so you can't fucking use it. Then
You can try Wi-Fi in airplane mode.
Yeah, you can.
It was disabling.
If you
it.
turn on airplane mode on iPhone, I think if you turn on, it turns everything off, and you go back in and
Yeah, you
turn
turn the
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi
on.
back on.
I had the same thing happen,
Yeah.
but I turned Wi-Fi back on and it would give me the same prompt.
You know, they were having a problem with the app on the ride there.
And you guys use
All I'm
Android,
saying
so
is,
that's a problem.
is it
that's
too
a
much
bad
to
call.
ask
Bad
when you're
call.
paying?
made by Google.
You're being treated
Google Apps, Google
like
Calendar,
human cattle
everything.
anyway.
Did they make the plane? Is it a Google plane?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Fuck! I didn't realize.
if you want me to not complain like the crybaby that I am, we know me. You know me. Everything's great until it's not. The second something's wrong, it's the worst fucking thing on the planet with me. But if you want me to not complain, United, if you want me just to be a happy cow that goes into the slaughterhouse, give me fucking Wi-Fi and free movies that I can't see on my home. Well, they were promised me Bumblebee. I was super excited about that. I had this trailer that I'm cutting for tomorrow's KFAF or Wednesday's KFAF, 11 a.m. Twitch.tv. This is kind of games. I was like, this is gonna be dope. I finished cutting it, and I'm like, I'm gonna reward myself with a Diet Coke and Bumblebee. And I got one half of that equation. And now I'm crying.
And it wasn't Bumblebee.
Here's what's gonna happen, guys. All right, we gotta ride. We're going international for the meet and greet, right?
London.
We're going to London, right? So we're gonna get a bevy of points there, a lot of miles off that. That's gonna help us out. That'll get us the status we need. Then what we need, once we get status at United, then the world's our oyster.
I'm hoping.
If we want to move somewhere else, if United just treats us better, whatever. That's the option. But because once you have United
You're on a
status,
one-year contract
you can
right
talk
now.
to anybody. If Delta turns out, fucking rinky dink Delta over there, everybody seems to love so much all of a sudden. If they suddenly are like, they are the bee's knees, we need to go there, they can
We can
take
switch,
it.
and they'll be fine.
If you know
They'll
what,
play nice.
if we want to, if for some reason Alaska gets their shit together and stops being bad, we could go there. You know what I mean? If some reason Sir Richard Branson decides, I've had enough of this, I'm bringing
Bring it
Virgin
back.
America back.
I don't think that was his decision.
I know it wasn't, because our own fucking legal system kept him
I
out.
think
They
the
locked
government
him
fucked him
out.
'cause
They
he was
said he
getting too
couldn't.
powerful.
He couldn't. They didn't want a foreign body in here. They said with the goddamn airplane. And I said
That
that's
body's
racist.
always like shirtless.
It's racist.
Like nice chest hair among the waves with like 3 beautiful women.
Yeah, he knows how to live.
surfing.
Those are
Yeah.
good.
always
Those are
has
his
braces.
daughters.
He always has braces.
Oh.
Now, how do you feel?
I feel
Pretty
pretty good
good.
about it.
You can't complain without playing.
True.
That's for you, Nick.
Thank you.
You can't come without.
Oh, yeah, if you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kind of Funny podcast each and every week. 4, sometimes 4.
Softly.
Oh, sorry. Best friends gather around this table.
Sleeping.
If you're just joining us, audio listener, Portillo's sleeping. Well, he's just
Porty
on. Porty always looks like he's on his deathbed.
Thanksgiving turkey right
He always
now.
looks like he's on his deathbed.
Like we're about to cut into him. I'll take the leg.
If you like that, you can head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can get each and every episode early as us recording them. We're recording this one live. You can catch it live right now, pre and post show included. Of course, you can get it the following Wednesday. As right? No, it was today's Monday. I'm lost. Is everybody else lost on what day of the week it is?
Today is Monday. You can get this show on Tuesday if you're Patreon, Friday if you're not Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon, you get it there with the pre and post show on Tuesdays, ad free as well. Or you can wait till Friday when it goes up as one big free video and MP3 on youtube.com/kindafunny, roosterteeth.com, and podcast services around the globe. Yeah.
I'm at a point right now where if the lights are on, I just talk. If I see a bright light, I just talk. You know? It's the lights go off and it's time to stop talking.
Yeah.
So the big question I have for you, Nick Scarpino, is here we are. We're, I should do the housekeeping. We are the Kind of Funny World Tour is continuing. New York, of course, April 6th. That's Saturday, Andy.
It's crazy.
Are you excited?
Close. Crazy close.
Are you excited?
I won't be there.
Oh, yeah. Is Barrett excited?
I don't think Barrett's coming either.
Who's going to this?
Joey and Cool Greg.
Oh, okay, cool. The good kids. We're going to be there partying with you at Ease Bar, Morningside Heights. Come hang out with us. Then Vancouver, you're up next, May 4th. You can find all this on kindafunny.com/events. I want to thank our Patreon producers for the month, DJ Kento, James Davis, Kieran O'Donnell, Sam Davis. That doesn't sound right. Mike McLaughlin. Did I screw one of those up? Is one of them Davies? I had to write it in because I was I'll check my phone. And then today we're brought to you by Upstart and Quip. Nick, what I want to know from you.
Sure.
Of course, we did a great panel.
You guys did a lot of great panels.
We all did a lot of
you
great
guys,
panels.
like collectively, we all did great panels.
Yeah.
Collectively.
Sure.
Yeah. I was looking forward to contributing
Davis.
to the long and lengthy storied history of Kind of Funny hosting panels. I was so happy to add to the pantheon.
You want to be in the annals.
To the annals of that.
history.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Henry Winkler fucked you over.
He fucked me hard.
And as this is on
He
the
went in fucking dry and then didn't even give me the fucking courtesy of a reach around.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
Just did me dirty.
So we detailed this on the Kind of Funny panel.
We did.
From Planet Comic Con.
Yeah.
One day that'll be on the site, we assume, right?
Maybe not. We'll have to figure out. I'm talking
Okay.
to Mr. Comic Con.
Gotcha, Mr. Comic Con's working
There
on
may
it
or
right
may
now.
not have been complications.
Oh,
but
fair.
we'll
Okay.
figure it
So
out.
do you want to retell your story here of what happened to you?
So, as everyone knows, and by the way, we're totally kidding. Henry Winkler's a great guy. Please don't tweet it. And he hated him. He's a lovely guy.
kidding.
He's a great guy. I catch wind that I'm hosting this panel, right? You said, Nick, what panel? We got all these panels that they're offering for us. Nick, you said I signed you up for the Henry Winkler panel. I thought you'd love that. And I think, Lord, my dreams have come true.
Sure.
If there's one person I think I most like on this planet, it is the Fonz.
The
It's
Wink.
Arthur Fonzarelli. So I think to myself, this is going to be great. I don't want to let anyone down. I want to have some questions prepared for this, and I want to like refamiliarize myself with Henry Winkler's 4-decade-long career. Amazing career. He's been acting since Happy Days, even before that, and he's been in the culture, culturally relevant to some degree, for the last 44 years. He just won an Emmy for Barry, which was a very fascinating story because he won an Emmy 42 years after being nominated for one. So he got nominated for Happy Days, I think, and then
Never got it.
never got it.
Bullshit.
And then
That's insane.
got a couple daytime Emmys, but those are they just hand those fucking things out.
I feel
Andy
like
has a daytime Emmy for working on fucking that game that never came out from Rooster Teeth. What was it called? Alien Squad
one, yeah.
6.
I feel like we've
Chairball.
We've talked about this in the show a long time ago, but I never realized until the Game Over Greggy show that Happy Days wasn't from the 50s.
No.
Because growing up in the 90s, it was just on Nick at Night, next to Leave
Yep.
It to Beaver and all
Yep.
that stuff. And I just assumed it was a 50s
looked
show.
old
Show
as
about
fuck,
the 50s,
yeah.
started in the mid 70s, ended in 84.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Because I was always confused about Fonz.
Yep.
Seeing him in other movies, I'm like, how the fuck is he?
He should be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really confused me. But
Yeah, no, Fonz, and upon reading, I'm learning all sorts of fun facts. Greg shared a few with me where I was like, I always thought the Fonz was the side character, but it turns out the show eventually evolved very quickly to be more about him, and he was more of a central character.
It's the
'Cause he was
Urkel
just-
effect.
Yeah, he was just more fun to watch because nobody gave a shit about Ron Howard's dumbass. And Scott Baio just wasn't Charles in Charge yet. If he had Charles in Charge, they'd be put Scott Baio on this.
They named him
regardless
Chachi.
of his political
Yeah,
career.
Chachi.
What a fun name.
Yeah,
What a fun name
Joni
it
and
is.
Chachi, man. Joni loves Chachi.
Oh,
It was a spinoff,
Chachi.
right?
Yeah.
There was a spinoff called Joni Loves
Yeah,
Chachi.
100%. Oh, 100%, yeah.
So,
There was
of
a
course,
made-for-TV movie about it. I think their wedding.
of course, I'm like, I want to, I don't want to Nick Scarpino this thing where I come in and just pretend like I'm great, and then somehow it's okay. It all works itself out. I'm like, I actually want to put some effort into this, write some questions down, and be able to have a good 45-minute long panel with. Had a rapid fire round of questions. That was going to be real fun. Sure. A couple of those we're going to just stick it to you guys because why not?
That was thinking. At one point, I think what was the idea still to have him interview you?
Yeah,
at one
I was going to
point?
be like, cool. A lot of everyone knows a lot about you, but I want to give you an opportunity to ask me some questions. So I literally I was going to give him my phone and be like, here, I've prepared these questions for you to ask me. And all of them were about my high school drama career.
Sure.
Which is going to be good.
And that would have went over well because the room had many kind of funny best friends
people
in it.
were in that. A lot of people.
Because we've been promoting for a hard time, a hard while that you were going to be doing this panel.
I mean, look, you put me and Henry Winkler in a room together, either something great or something terrible is going to happen.
Magic.
Either way, it's going to be fun to watch, right?
Sure, fair.
I'm thinking this is my shot, right?
Yeah.
So we get there, check in. The guy that's running the room running the ballroom is like, hey, just come like 15 minutes, 10 minutes beforehand. And Henry will probably show like right up. So, but just get here a little early for me.
And we've been doing this all day.
Yeah, we're playing all day. You had Power Rangers, which we talk about. You had Mick Foley, and then later after me, Superman. We were going. We had a packed panel schedule. But I go, I'm gonna tear away from this. I'm gonna get there really early. I get there 30 minutes early, and the guy's like, "Why are you here so early?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am a professional, and Mr. Winkler, I respect him. He
deserves-
deserves me
yeah.
being here early, right? And he goes, cool. Well, he called. He's gonna be a little late. So you're gonna have to sit here by yourself for 30 minutes. I'm like, no problem. I want him to see me and know that I'm a professional and that maybe I'm someone he might want to adopt into his family. Like I'm thinking pie in the sky. He's gonna be my grandpa now. Never knew my grandpa. Died when I was.
It sounded like a joke at the start, and then it's really real and kind of sad.
I just never knew my grandfather. I thought
Sure.
maybe he could be a good surrogate grandfather, right?
Sure. No, totally. You think he has like a Werther's original in his pocket for you?
God, like it's kind of like I don't really want it, but I'm gonna take it because
Yeah,
Grandpa
yeah,
wants
you
it.
want- yeah, Papa wants you to have it.
Papa wants candy.
There's
and
some
mouth
lint
mouth.
in there. Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
What? So one of the other guys, like, by the way, you have a lot of questions prepared, but it's possible that Henry might just want to talk about memories and stuff. So you might just facilitate that. I'm like, I will let Henry do whatever he wants to me, right? Whatever he wants.
To you, with you.
With me.
With you
Did
on
I
the
say
set.
to me?
Yeah.
I said I meant with me.
Freudian slip.
Guys, like, Henry's not here yet. He's going to be a little late, so we're going to have to get you guys right on. Cool. And then you guys come, and I'm like, this is cool. I'm a little nervous. I'm walking around trying to get the energy out, trying to get the, calm myself so I can be collected.
It's
or whatever.
rare that I've seen you take something this seriously.
Oh, I was in.
Yeah.
I had 3 pages of questions for him. Almost all of them were about Night Shift. But
Sure, we were very hung up on Night Shift for some reason.
great film, 82, Michael Keaton. Shelley Long. Then I see him all the way down, like a mile down.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a
We're in the
long,
hallway.
long
And
wait.
he's wearing a bright coral orange sweater.
Yeah.
And he looks, I'll say it, majestic.
Yeah.
He looks like how I imagine a unicorn must have looked back when they were real.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah.
when they were around.
Before they were extinct. Yeah.
And he's with his wife. And they're
What was her
walking.
name again?
Sally.
Jill?
Janny.
Stacy. I want to say it was
Janny.
Stacy. I can't remember. I lost all the
Julie.
facts after.
Janny.
Stacy.
Walks down, and I'm about to introduce myself to him, and the guy's about to introduce me to him, and he walks right past me into the room and starts walking on stage. This is how baller Henry Winkler is. Doesn't even wait for a mic. Just starts walking on, like, hands someone his attaché case, which he was carrying with him.
Yeah, hell yeah, he
And
was.
starts walking. They slow him down. They give him a mic, and he starts going again. And they're like, no, Mr. Winkler. This is Nick Scarpino. He's a YouTuber and stand-up comedian. He's going to be your moderator. And he kind of looks at me. He goes, hi, pleasure to meet you. Shake my hand. Great. I don't need a moderator. And then takes the mic. And then the guy's like, and I look, and then I felt it. At this point, I wasn't aware of where you guys were, but then somehow I felt your presence behind me, and I knew you were watching this. And I'm like,
Oh, we all
this
were.
couldn't be
More embarrassing.
more embarrassing and more perfect.
I know.
It was
For this.
on our end. It was I immediately kicked into parent mode.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't we were gonna make fun of you. It was I saw him walk. It was he walked up. The guy was like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Winkler," and then he went to introduce you, and Henry kept walking.
Yeah.
And so then you stopped, and we all walked in behind you, trying to get in our seats, get ready for the panel to start. And I saw the whole exchange happen, and I heard him say, "I don't need a moderator." And I turned over to them, and I was like, "I think he just said he doesn't need a moderator."
Yeah.
And there was this
Kevin
ripple.
was getting the vlog camera ready.
Yeah.
And Andy was like, hey, man, you should film like them going up.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh. And he starts recording. And this all happens. And it's like within earshot. Like we can hear
Oh,
it.
yeah,
And
no.
then we kind of heard it, but it wasn't until Greg looked over at us with panic. He's like, I think he doesn't need a moderator. Kevin just goes,
Clink, turns it
turns
off.
it off
Yeah,
and
yeah,
turns
I'm
away.
so sad about that though, because that would have been This moment in my life, this is like a pivotal moment in my life. I wish we'd have captured this on film.
It's one of those that could have gone either way, though.
Could have gone either way.
It could have gone either way. That
I was worried about you.
Yeah, exactly.
We
You
were
turned
worried about
around
it.
and you were ready to laugh about it, or you were going to be fucking furious.
Yeah.
And then you see Kevin with the camera, and guess who? You can't give it to fucking Henry Winkler.
So it's
What
Kevin.
you can give it to
Yeah.
Kevin.
You know what?
Kevin, take off your shoe.
Probably strong call. So the guy goes, and I forgot the gentleman's name who was running that
Big
particular
Steve.
room, was like, oh, okay, well, he's here if you need him. And Henry, to his credit, was like, oh, you know what? Like, sorry, hold on. And he turned to me, he was like, what was your name again? I said, hi, I'm Nick Scarpino. He goes, what do you do, Nick?
Nicky.
And I go, oh, I'm a YouTuber and stand-up comedian and I'm a podcaster. And he goes, cool, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go up there and tell people who you are, pimp your stuff, go promote yourself, and then bring me up and I'll shake a hand and we go off stage. And to me, I'm like, I'm thinking this is going to be a moment like in The Rundown when The Rock walks into the club and Arnold Schwarzenegger walks out of the club and he goes, I forget what he said. It was like, it's on you now.
I never fucking saw it.
It was on right now. It's a great part where he's like, he's like, it's yours now or whatever. He just literally cameo taps it, passing the torch.
Sure.
Of course. So I think I'm going to be the new Fonz. But I am flabbergasted.
Okay,
at this
real
point.
quick. I don't. How does that make any sense to you?
It doesn't in my brain.
Because in this scenario, you'd be Arnold Schwarzenegger exiting the club, and Henry Winkler would be the Rock.
Yeah, he was
walking in.
giving me the, I was approved. Like, go up there and introduce me, kid.
so-
You got what? Let me see what you got.
Okay.
And I was
Okay.
flustered.
Not at all like
And then I went up there and for some reason was like, I'm going to spend 30 seconds talking about me and telling everyone to subscribe to our YouTube
Because that's
channel.
what he told you to do. And it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Because you go up and you spend more time introducing you than him. And then there's an awkward moment when he goes up where no one really knew what to do.
No, I introduced him.
No, see, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
By
okay,
this-
I was like, put your hands together for a man that needs no introduction.
Yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Henry Winkler. By the way, room, I don't think they could hear me. It was very weird. I was like, no one's clapping. Is my sound hitting them? Am I speaking? I was questioning everything about myself this way.
You're
I'm like,
shaking
am I even
it.
here?
You've taken a direct punch to the nose.
Yeah.
And you're
Oh,
like
I
trying to
was-
shake it
yeah, I
off.
was,
again.
I was
Seeing
punch drunk at
stars.
this
Now, by this point, Greg had mentioned, hey, I think he said he doesn't need a moderator. So I didn't know exactly what was going down still. I had assumed that you weren't going to go up there at all. But then when you walked up, I was walking closer to the crowd near that little curtain thing.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, maybe he is still going to do this. Which is weird because this is a really long
Well,
intro.
what I was like, so here's what I was going to do. I was like, I'm going to introduce him, right? Talk about myself a little bit. I had kind of an intro plan in my brain where I was going to be like, thanks for coming to see me. Laughs. Obviously, we're not here to see you. Easy joke. Oh, you're not here to see me. Of course, you want to see Henry. But I got up and I was just like, I'm just going to talk about myself for a few seconds. Thank everyone for coming. Introduce Henry. And I'm like, maybe there's a spark of hope left. I have a mic in my hand. If he walks out with a mic in his hand, maybe I'll get a little back and forth with Henry. We'll shoot the shit a little bit. He'll realize how genius I am. Obviously, kindred spirit,
Yeah.
the new Fonz 2.0.
Totally.
And he'll want me to hang out with him, right? He walks out, no mic in hand, shakes my hand. Just immediately, I was like, and it was like, and it takes the mic out of my hand. And I just, you can probably see the footage of me just deflatedly walking off.
That's arguable. The camera didn't move, so there was
that's a
a lot
good
of
point.
Fonz's panel
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, Planet
he was
Comic-Con
in
had
the gutters, so it was just a shot of a couch.
But
This was awesome. Every single bit about this was awesome. You handled
It was
handled it great. You handled it great. It was all good. But the moment where Greg turned into parent mode is so rare. Like, there's been multiple times in our history where like something bad's happening and like you'll give me the look and I'm like, oh fuck, like
Yeah.
I need to be aware of what's going on. This was one of the only times I think it's been something that's happening to one of us.
Yeah.
Where it's like we need to be aware of what's going on right here. And I was just like, oh shit, this is actually going down right now.
Yeah.
And it was that thing from like what's happening to this is hilarious to this is not funny at all. Then pretty quickly went back to like, but this is going to be a great story on the podcast.
No, as soon as Nick got off stage and was like, he's like, no, you got to be fun. Or he was smiling and laughing about it. That's when I knew this is okay to laugh now.
Oh, yeah.
But at first, I was very much like Greg, like, we have kid gloves here. I don't want to piss off Nick. He might be really mad.
No,
was
no.
Yeah.
I mean, not really though. Like, it's not my panel. It's not like someone canceled my panel. Well, no, it was Henry's panel, moderated by me. So people didn't come. Like the vast majority of the 2,000 people witnessing this embarrassment in that room were there for Henry Winkler. They weren't like maybe 200 of them were there for me.
I
Sure,
see another
that's fair.
side of this.
Maybe,
but-
I mean, there's lots of people there
Exactly.
that I saw at the meet and greet later that were like, "Hey, am I crazy, or did you say you were moderating that panel?" I'm like, "Oh, you're not crazy." It's a funny story. Even today, I walked in, and Barrett's like, "How'd the Henry Winkler panel go?" And I'm like, I can't tell if he's fucking with me or not.
You like grab him and slam him against the wall. Like, what do you know?
No, honestly, it was one of those things where I was so nervous that it was like, I was a little nervous because I don't really host panels that much. And I was like, oh, cool, I'll get the experience of like getting this one out of the way. And it'll be rocky, I'm sure, but it's Henry Winkler. All I have to do is ask him to tell stories about his movies, and he'll fucking 45 minutes later, I'll be like, thanks, Henry. But it's one of those things where I'm like, you know, you ever been like really nervous about something, and in the back of your brain, you're like, I hope the power goes out. So
You described it as you were worried about a test, and you crammed all night for the test.
Yeah.
And then you got there and the test got canceled. You're like, wow, I was ready to take the test.
Yeah, but then I was like, oh, I'm disappointed because I was like, right when I got off, I'm like, oh, that would have been a fun. That would have just been a cool thing.
Yeah.
So I wasn't mad at it at all. I was just disappointed that I didn't get a chance to actually interview one of the fucking all-time greats of like television and film, which is Henry Winkler. I was like, this is gonna be cool. But then afterward, we left, went to the green room,
Joked about it,
joked
laughed
about it, came
for a
back
long time.
as he was coming off stage, and he was very, very lovely and was like, hey, thank you so much for understanding. I think he's just doing more of a one-man show kind of thing, because he got up and went into
a polished 45 minutes. I'm Henry
Kevin
Winkler,
Smith
and here's
style,
this-
like an evening with Kevin Smith, and I was like,
I said polished.
oh, I see.
Oh.
So
Kevin knows I love him.
I don't know if
Paula
he's,
Paula.
I'll tell that story in a second. So I don't know if that's a thing he's doing, because I feel like that's a thing he might be able to tour now that Barry is so big. That
It's
he can go on
probably
this and
honestly
stuff.
what he probably does when he does any of these appearances.
That'd
right?
be my guess. Yeah. So I was like, oh, you're doing a one-man thing. Like, I totally get that. And then another of the guys was like, yeah, he does that sometimes. Like, we like to have a moderator on hand for him just in case he wants one, but sometimes he doesn't want one. And I was like, cool.
Would have been good to know.
I'm like, little piece of feedback. Prepare me for that next time. So I know that this is a possibility. So not because I was mad at them, but because I don't like there
adrenaline.
to
It's
be,
like getting psyched up.
well, it's not even that. I don't like there to be confusion before people go on stage. It's
Sure.
not
Good point,
professional
good
to be
point.
like, what's going on? Oh, here's a mic. Get out in front of 2,000 people. Like, as a producer, as a former producer, I used to like at least try to the best of my abilities to prepare my talent for what was going to happen for the next hour, so that they can feel like, hey, the people behind the scenes got your fucking back. Like, we're not just going to leave a camera shot there static because Henry walks out of it. 5 minutes later, walks through it.
Through it.
Yeah.
The other side of it, playing both sides of the
Stuff
stage.
like that, you
What
know.
I was gonna do is I'm not sure how much we wanted to talk about it since we had already been talked about it in the panel, but this is good information, Tim. Thank you for preparing me for this panel.
You're welcome.
What I really want to know though, because I know our reactions, I know your reactions,
Yeah.
the guffaws, the ha-has
Yeah.
about it. What was Dee's reaction to this entire thing?
Laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm so sorry, babe, but that like, she always, obviously my wife always puts things in perspective for me, because it wasn't like I was like angry.
No,
I was just
no.
like, oh, I was a little disappointed that I didn't get that experience. And she was like, but this is so much better. This is such a funny story. She's like, for you fucking idiots, like what you guys do.
Yeah.
She's
Totally.
like, this is so fucking funny. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. This is better. Because that's the way I looked at it. I was like, what's more memorable now? That panel I did with Henry Winkler that one time, where I may or may not have said something funny off the cuff, or just getting rebuffed completely right off the bat. And let's be honest.
Nice to meet you. I don't need a moderator.
I don't. He's so lovely. And then it turns half a foot to the right and just fucks me over. Just fucks me
It
hard.
would have been great. It could have only been better if he's like, oh, pleasure to meet you. Would you mind grabbing me a water? Yeah. And then he grabs the mic and runs on stage.
No, man. Yeah, but again, Henry was awesome. Everyone that was playing this was awesome. It was just a slight miscommunication. And again, my expectations were one thing. Had someone just said, hey, there's a 90% chance he might just want to go up on that stage. Of course, as a professional to another professional, like you're a performer, you do you.
They're there for you.
Yeah, I'm here for you. If you don't need me and you want to go up there and crush for 45 minutes, fuck that. Like, go for it. You know, if it's put in stand-up terms, like if the headliner just wants to fucking come out and doesn't need a feature act or an opener,
Yeah.
that's your fucking prerogative, man.
Sure.
People are here for you. They bought the tickets for you. It's just, there was a moment where I was like, again, like I just felt it. I was like, oh my God, the guys are behind me watching this. And then I was like, I'm just gonna go up on stage and do my thing and try to get a laugh real quick and get the crowd going and set it up for Henry. Like you're supposed to
BKD,
do
what's
as an
that over
opener.
there?
I was just saying, Nick, imagine that moment you were like, oh my God, the guys are behind me watching. And then you turn around and I'm standing there with the camera recording it. Like
I honestly think I would have been okay.
No, yeah, I think you would have been. I think you would have as well in this scenario.
Yeah.
I just think there is a possibility it could have gone the other way.
No,
because for me,
it wasn't like, again, anger wasn't the emotion I was feeling. I was just like confused and a little let down by it.
Sure.
But mostly I was just like, I mean, I don't Mostly, I was like, I just don't want Henry Winkler to think I'm an asshole.
Totally.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
Like,
He
if he
probably
doesn't
did it in
remember
that
me at
moment,
all.
but us talking shit about him now for 2 fucking solid hours, that's
No,
gonna
I think
get him.
It's not that you were angry then, but
No.
I feel like if you turned around and instead of us laughing supportively with you, we were laughing at you,
Yeah.
you would have lost it. And totally understandably. But yeah, it was.
but
We
you guys
all
would-
had that same
You
feeling
guys
of
would
like,
not do that.
Sure.
You guys
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that
I know.
later
Yeah,
after,
yeah.
But you also
after the wound is healed, it's our style to reopen it.
But that's the thing is when it is raw, it could have also been misinterpreted if we were laughing supportively of like, what
Yeah.
if this could only happen to us situation,
Yeah.
which was my first reaction. I'll be
Everyone's
like,
first reaction
Yeah.
is-
I didn't feel safe to laugh until I saw you laugh. That's the thing.
Yeah, okay. I feel that.
Because I know
Because
that.
like my thing would have been this if that had happened to me with like the Superman panel,
Yeah.
I would have turned around and they're there to see you guys, duh, with the exception of the one guy, but like they're there to see you guys.
Our very first best friend that asked the question. I was
awesome.
like, I don't watch you guys, but I like Greg.
Tom Welling was like, wait, you're here for this guy? I was like,
Genuinely.
"Hey."
Like, fuck you, Tom Welly.
No, but it would have been the thing of fuck. We promoted This Is Us. That would have been why I would have been.
That,
like,
I mean,
you know what
that was
Like, fuck.
that's what also went through my brain, where I was like, there are people that came here to see
The interaction of
me
you.
interview
A lot
Henry
of people
Winkler,
were there
and
for
so
that.
I was like, fuck, we're gonna have to explain to people because I don't like I was like, I'm sure everyone in the audience will understand, but we're still gonna have to explain to them at our panel and then probably at the meet and greet and probably for the rest of my fucking life.
Hey, I was a
why
big
I
Kind of Funny
wasn't
fan
there.
until you stood up Henry Winkler. I walked out there. I deleted all the shows. I never saw anything.
'cause there was a guy that
And
was
now
like,
that you're
we
in this
were-
Gold's Gym, that's how I'm gonna tell you.
There was a guy who was like, we were 6 minutes late to the panel and you just never showed up. I was like, I was there at the beginning and the end, man. What do you want from me? It was, it's just my life. That's just, remember the week prior where I was like, it's just a wave and you're going to take the wave wherever it takes you.
I do remember that.
The wave took me right to the fucking breakers on that one.
Bam! Right against the
smashed
rocks.
me against the rocks.
Smashed you around. But you got that awesome photo of
Got a
Henry
great
Winkler
photo.
afterwards.
And my dad was like, you met my dad was like beside himself. He was like, how the fuck did you met Henry Winkler? I was like, well, I don't want to say anything, but he's my grandpa now. Like, we're homies.
Hey.
That was the same thing. My dad was impressed. I was like running through the thing of the show. I'm like, I'm going to interview Dean Cain from Lois and Clark. Didn't really get any pop. I know he didn't care about Smallville. Mick Foley's like, I remember him. Yeah. I was like, Henry Winkler's like, oh, Nick's going to talk to Henry Winkler.
So funny.
I mean, that's the thing. You forget how big the Fonz was.
And you also
man.
ate ribs next to William Shatner.
I did eat ribs next to William Shatner. Yeah.
That was one of those moments where I was like, I'm not going to say anything, but I just really want to tell William Shatner how cool he is.
Sure.
But we're in the green room, and like if someone did that to me, I'd be like, cool, fuck this guy. Like, don't. We're in the green
That's
room.
why I did it.
No, you
No,
wouldn't.
you wouldn't.
If someone, like a fan, randomly was in the green room, that was like, who the fuck is this guy? I'd be
But you
like,
know,
who is that
he's
guy?
But you wouldn't be in the green one if
No, if
you're
fucking Henry Shatner walked up to me and was like, hey, man, or William Shatner walked up to me and was like, I'm a huge fan of yours, Nick. I'd be like, but no, like,
Nick, I
Why are you
love
jerking
the way you. Because he's fucking got hard and needed to release it when Henry Shatner said that he left.
if like a random person I didn't know who was obviously a fan of mine was in the green room, I'd be like, dude, I would be courteous, but I'd be
Now-
like, you got to stop letting people into the fucking green room, man. This is our holding room. Like, this is how we just relax.
I hear what you're saying. I think they would understand you're not a random person probably if you're in the green room.
Yeah, you're in the green room for a reason, like because you're like
Fair.
a guest.
That's
In
or
why-
my
whatever.
brain, to William Shatner, it's not going to go
Well,
well.
no one's on his level, and
Well,
that's
it's not
my
going to
thing.
go
That's
well.
why
Oh,
I
yeah.
did it.
If I walk up to him while he's eating his
I
fucking
went
food,
over.
I'd be
No,
like,
I
"Oh,
was.
you got it,
I
man."
washed my
No, I
hands
saw him
several
too.
times.
An hour
I went
before
over
you.
there and I
I saw him
piled the
first.
ribs on
You
there.
fucking
But I was the one who wasn't a
asshole.
coward. I wasn't a coward. I walked over and put the plate of ribs next to William Shatner right there, right while he was on his phone, and I start eating the ribs, and I'm thinking, great opener. He's gonna have some questions, I bet, about these ribs, and then we're friends. Then we're best friends. If he wants to get off his
And he's
phone.
your grandpa.
Exactly. Then I have a new grandpa too. His name's William Shatner and
Mine's
stuff.
cooler 'cause
He
he hates
didn't. But I'll tell you what, these tender ribs. I sucking a rib bone.
Q39.
Not a great look, right? You can do it with your friends, your family, your loved ones, whatever. When you're trying to impress Spock himself, William Shatner, not a great idea, right?
Rest in peace.
So I decided to do in a brilliant move, and I thought maybe this opens up a conversation with us. I started peeling the meat off the bone, and then I just had rib tenders here. I mean,
Ooh.
right? And I was hoping he'd be like, "Great, that's a great idea." Like, how'd you know my name? You know what I mean?
Whoa. No, all I'm saying is
I've
like
never thought of
the
doing
man
that.
clearly was like, I'm decompressing right now and relaxing, and he every time was like, I don't want anyone to talk to me.
Well, that's
I don't
everybody.
want. I don't even want a 30-second interaction of how awesome I am. I just want to sit in this fucking corner.
100%. I think that's
and he had a man purse.
When,
and I was
when
like,
you're at
that's
that
a man
level,
purse.
you understand.
Well, that's kind of the unspoken rule, I think, of the green room, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's all I meant. I didn't mean to sound like a dick of like, oh, I'm so high and mighty. I just mean like when you're in the green room is everyone's decompressing. You don't want to have a conversation with someone.
It's like a quiet area, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's
usually
just
for these guys especially, they're coming off of doing a signing or working a booth to then probably go to their next panel or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, they don't need
downtime.
random people coming over and doing it.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what
I think
Also, don't fucking talk to me.
Kevin ate Tom.
No,
Williams
I think
pepperoni.
if it's like me or whatever, if somebody comes up to say hi to me, I know that they're probably a voice actor in something that I know, or there's like, yeah,
They love
it's whatever.
KFA.
But if I'm William Shatner, who you've probably maybe heard stories that aren't so friendly about him, then I wouldn't go say hi to that guy. Fuck that. Like I didn't even want to look at him. I
didn't.
Yeah, I was so nervous to like not even look at his way. I don't want him to be
I
like,
almost sat
"Who's
next
this
to him
fucking guy?"
without knowing, because before when we walked in, that table was clear, and Kev's like, "Where do you want to sit?" I was like, and he pointed to that a clear table. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's good." And he goes, "Cool, I'm gonna go put my camera stuff down there." He put the camera down, came over. We were like, barbecue is fucking phenomenal. Loaded our plates, turned around, and I was like, "Oh, there's a dude by the camera." 'Cause
William
it was
Shatner's
like,
using
it was
the
like
camera.
William Shatner and the camera. Like he sat right next to the camera, which I was like, "That's weird." So I started to sit and I kind of looked up and it was like one of those, no, you're not clear. And I just took right back off. Like didn't even touch down. I was like, ew. And I'm sure I made it super awkward for him, but whatever.
I mean, I had to go get my gear when we all like decided to sit somewhere else. It was very much like, oh fuck.
You guys missed it.
Now
He could have been the
pick up this
fifth
camera
best friend.
No, but
directly next to him.
We walked by the new Chewbacca, Kevin.
Yeah.
He's tall.
Very tall.
There was that woman from the Once Upon a Time show.
These conventions are awesome.
This was a weird
just
one.
such a hodgepodge of just the most random groups of people. There's us, and then there's a bunch of CW show people, and then William Shatner's there, and it's just like and the
Jess
Fonz.
Negri.
The old guy from
Babstar.
from
voice of
Wallace
Rex.
Shawn.
yeah.
Wallace Shawn was
Toy
there. They go,
Story.
inconceivable.
Yeah.
He was cool.
That was
and
really
Carrie
cool.
Elways was there too. If I would have fucking lost my shit if Carrie Elways
Oh
walked
yeah.
Tim, what
I
if
would
too?
like-
Saw.
Yeah, big fan of
Saw,
in. Dude,
dude.
fucking
He
Psych.
killed
He was
it in
on
that.
Psych for like 3 episodes.
Oh man.
Look at Art Thief.
Oh wow.
He's also in Liar Liar. Then
Oh, that's
The
right.
dad.
He was the asshole.
Yeah, asshole
He's
dad.
so good looking, great hair.
Yeah.
I bet he
No.
would rebuff me.
Hold on a second. No.
What's up?
Liar. He was the asshole dad?
He was the.
he
he
turn
wasn't the
out to be an
asshole. He wasn't the
asshole?
asshole dad. He was just the guy that was Moira Turney was like dating, right?
Yeah, he was the guy trying to be a good stepdad, right?
I mean, yeah,
I
like
think
he was like the
technically-
guy. He was the guy you don't
Claw.
like. Yeah, he's like, this guy's
yeah,
a
which is
dick.
always that weird thing in these movies where the dad's a dirtbag and he's trying to redeem his life. She's married someone who's just, he's milquetoast, but he's nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is like
he
in
shows up.
Ant-Man.
He comes
Yeah,
home and sits.
exactly. Well, Ant-Man does it really well. Like,
Yeah.
here's what a healthy stepfather relationship looks like, where even the stepfather like believes in him. By the
Yeah.
end.
I want to give a shout out to Comic Book Girl 19, who's back actually doing the Comic Book Girl 19 show after forever. Cool. And the first episode was making a case for Cyclops. Like, she's a super big X-Men fan, and she was just like, look, Cyclops has been shat on the last 20 years, and everyone hates Cyclops and thinks he's just this like loser because of the movies. And like that's pretty much it. And it's like those movies fucked him so hard because they're about Wolverine. They're not the X-Men. It's Wolverine and friends, and they just make Wolverine look like the they make Cyclops look like the guy that's in Wolverine's way of getting his girl.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's hella true. They're like,
Yeah.
Cyclops is supposed to be the cool leader. Every chance they get, they just make him the guy that's getting in Wolverine's way. It's just like, wow, that's
That's
really
so
true.
true. James Martin, super handsome though.
He is.
James
And he's a good
Marsden,
actor.
yeah.
Westworld.
Stupid face.
Go. He gets fucked over
What do you
in
mean
every
stupid
role.
face?
Why do you mean stupid face? He's got a beautiful
He's
face.
gorgeous.
Yeah, but not when he has that visor on.
Face.
Oh, sure.
Nobody
yeah, the
looks
visor
good in Oakleys
yeah.
ever. No one should ever wear Oakleys. Period.
Back in the day, though, when you were Mark McGuire and you had like fucking 80 gallons of steroids in your body and you wore those Oakleys, that was cool.
Allegedly.
No,
And it was
no.
it was creatine.
It was allegedly cool.
It wasn't allegedly. He was found guilty.
He had like the Bane Venom pack on.
Sammy Sosa was allegedly because he never
he
was
never
found
got
guilty,
it.
but it was like,
Real.
it's so real.
I tell you one thing right now, though. Yeah, sure. If you're fucking up to bat and you got Oakleys
Yeah,
on,
you look
all right.
badass.
If you're on a cycle of some sort, you got Oakleys on, sure.
Yeah.
If you're playing volleyball and it's sunny out,
Or if
sure.
you're a big
Sounds
Papa
like
Pump.
there's a lot of
if you're a big Papa Pump.
times it's okay. Yeah,
if
that's
you're,
Steiner?
standing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you're in leather standing next to Wolverine, just take the Oakleys off. Like if we were all together and Hugh Jackman was there and one of us wearing Oakleys, I'd be like, "Hey, Hugh Jackman, hey man, take those.
Kevin, get those fucking glasses off. Kevin,
Take your fucking glasses
off.
Turn your hat the right way. Respect."
Anyway, convention was cool.
Oh, by the way, and shout out to the organizer. Shout out to Dave. The fucking green room was
great,
the best green room that I've
They had
been
massages.
in any convention period.
Best con food ever. So we're in Kansas City, and Greg's friends, the former Antlers, brought us.
Well,
to,
you're never not an antler.
Yeah.
Once an antler, always an antler.
Yes.
They're not active antlers.
It's
Just a
like
heads up,
it's like
just
getting
saying.
stabbed. You
Once
just have
you're
always
a
been
jet,
stabbed.
you're a jet for life.
Yeah.
Got it.
Once you get stabbed in the kidney, you've just been stabbed in the
They
kidney.
recommended this place called
Can't unstab.
Q39, which
Yeah.
is barbecue, and it was fantastic. Some of the best barbecue I've ever had.
Agreed.
And then the next day, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm pretty hungry. Like we're in between panels. We should run down now, like halfway through. Your,
Smart
like,
call, by
Foley
the way.
one.
Real
Yeah.
smart call.
Because we would have ran out of time. So we're like, all right, cool, let's go. So we go down to the green room, and usually it's just like there's aluminum tins filled with like just those shitty sandwiches.
Or,
you know what I'm talking
or
about?
they
Like,
do
it'll
the
be, like,
thing
cut in
where
half.
the fucking conventions fuck you.
Yeah,
and they
you
can
gotta
only
use
have
our
the
food
food
for
the
this-
convention's food for
for
this
30 minutes.
second.
Yeah.
And then you get there and there's a fucking there's a
Baguettes.
a baguette left, and you go to get it, and the woman's like slaps your hand. You're like,
105.
woman, I don't
You
even
had to
eat
be here
carbs.
before 1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
no.
barbecue was there for like 2 hours.
This was the
great.
opposite. It was
Fucking
Q39
great.
barbecue brought in, and it was fantastic.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh, and there's so much of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ate cream corn, and I liked it.
It was so
Dude, the
good.
ribs were so delicious.
So good.
And they had a bunch of Diet Cokes, bunch of Coke Zeros.
Coke Zeros. Ice.
They had
They had
beer.
ice.
They
and
had
coffee.
IPA. They had LaCroix. I'm like, guys.
Not only that, but
Red Bull,
so I'm-
Mountain
I'm-
Dew. I had a couple of MTDs.
Somewhere there was a mystical Papa John's popping those out too.
Oh, where
apparently
were they?
Only the Smallville guys had them. They had like 9.
And then
They offered you some.
I don't know. No, Tom Welling was.
Oh, they were selling them
delightful
on the
about it.
floor. They were selling them on the show
And then
floor.
you ate his pepperoni. Remember that, Kev?
And then he ate the rest of the pizza. I didn't expect that.
I know. I walk back
Tom
to the
Welling's a
table.
G-man.
I walk back to the table after grabbing I think I'm making myself a nice coffee over there, and I walk back and I just hear Tom Welling look at Kevin and go, "Well, you can't really stay on that for a long time because it's gonna clog your arteries." And I was like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" He's like, "Oh, you should be careful with that diet."
Tom Welling looked so much like Carl Urban. I cannot get over it.
First
But
off,
even a more jacked Carl.
oh,
he
way
is-
more jacked.
I saw him and I was like, "Who the fuck is that guy? He's jacked." and
Kevin, can you go to
beautiful."
my Instagram and throw up the photo that I have with them?
I just didn't
Because like
expect
he looks
him to be
even
that
there,
big.
he looks like Batista. Like Jesus, dude. You know what I mean? Like
He is like an
He's like-
inch
he's an
taller
inch
than
taller than
you,
you.
yeah.
which is insane.
and
Yeah.
just ripped as all hell. He's just big. He's just a big motherfucker.
God damn! Look how first off, stop. Wait, can you click on the Superman one? Look that one right there. Look how
3 different Superman
Look how
photos.
fucking sexy you'd look if you were jacked up.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing. We were talking about after Tom Welling left at the table. We were talking about how big Tom Welling is. Nick's like, Greg could do that if he cared about himself.
That was so honest, too.
It's true. It was a very honest
I
statement.
apologize
No,
about
it's
that.
an honest.
I think I've
gotten
gotten a little too mean to you guys.
This
over
is a
here, so I'm
great.
gonna
We
back that
all
up a
have,
little bit.
dude. Well, again, if we're talking
I'm
about
gonna
being
back it up a
mean,
little
all
bit.
right. So first off, yeah, throw this up.
can't-
Dude,
he's like,
I
how
would
much
not
does he look like
fuck with
Carl
Tom Welling.
Urban?
He does look a lot
It's
like Carl Urban.
crazy.
But even then, I think he looks bigger than Carl Urban.
He looks great. He's
Yeah.
kept his body up a lot. The Michael Rosenbaum, on the other hand, full hobo, just full hobo,
Full hobo.
just has gone deep into
An
hoboism.
asshole, you know?
Well, that
God,
that
he
was
was
what I was gonna say. You talk
fucking
about how
hilarious.
we give each other shit too much, right? Michael Rosenbaum is a kindred spirit, as you know. One of everybody's favorite Game Over Greggies of all time. One of everybody's
the fucking
favorite.
best.
We did the Smallville panel. We fucking crushed it. Him and I just insulted each
This
other
was
for
one
an
of the
hour.
best panels I've ever
It's
seen.
back and forth. And there was a clip of that up
Seriously.
on my unverified
It was
Instagram as well.
fucking great.
Eventually, hopefully, we can get that up if that exists. But who
so
knows?
funny. It was a great panel.
It was
Someone
an
already
awesome.
posted that one, by the way.
I put it on my Instagram. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
There's a whole bunch of great shit there on that panel. We come off, we're all high. It was amazing. You know what I mean? We're not literally high. We're high on adrenaline or whatever.
I mean, by the way, made even better. But you all kidding aside, fucking knocked it out of the park. This is
Yeah.
one of the best. This is probably the best panel you've ever done.
Thank you.
But it was made better by the fact that the panel right before it was supposed to be me and Henry Winkler for 45 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
And I got 30 seconds to stage time. Go.
So then we go back to the green room, like we were
I'm not
saying. There's a whole bunch of Papa John's pizzas there. They offer them to the table. The Smallville guys start eating them, and it's Rosenbaum and me. Rosenbaum next to me. We've been giving shit all day. Literally since Rosenbaum walked in the green room, we've been riding each other, and he's one of us. He fits in so perfectly.
He's amazing.
And Kevin sat down, and Tom Welling offered him one of the pizzas, and Kevin's like, I can't do it. I don't eat carbs. And Rosenbaum's sitting there eating the pizza. Goes, oh, what? You started today?
He goes, I'm on a diet. I don't eat carbs. And Rosenbaum's like, well, is today your first day? And then laughed at his face.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, bro.
What a dick. And I turned around, I was like, is Rosenbaum hammered? And Greg's like, no, he hasn't even had a drink yet. They lied. The drink he was
Yeah.
talking about was vodka. It was just water.
Just a tonic. Yeah,
I was like, oh,
yeah.
you're just like this. Like I'm like,
That's just how he is.
and then
That's
Andy
fucking
turned to me. He was
crazy.
like, see, See?
Well, it's the
And I
same
was
thing.
like, fuck you, Eddie.
Rosenbaum walked in
what?
the green room before the panel, right? And he's like, Miller! And he came around and said hi to us. And like, later, he's like, all right, well, how much time are we got? I'm going to go get a massage. And I was like, that's a weird thing to say. And then I didn't realize there was a massage chair in the corner of the green room. He went and got a massage. I was like, all right.
God.
Yeah, I
It
should
was
have
like,
done
It was
that.
like herding cats. His handler was desperately trying to get him out of the green room, and he was just having such a
She went from
blast.
like, "Hey, Michael, your panel's starting. We need you over here. Hey, Michael Rosenbaum. Please. Rosenbaum.
She's the one with the hammer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rosenbaum, get over here. She was getting so mad.
Tom Welling was like, "Yo, we gotta go."
He did that and left, and then we caught up to Tom because they wouldn't leave, and it was the panel didn't tell him where to go, so it was him and his representative was like, "Oh, hey, I'm your moderator." Oh, and like, yeah, I'm like, "We're waiting on Rosenbaum." He's like, "We're gonna be waiting all day." I'm like, "Oh no." He's like, "I know too."
And then me and Nick, I think it might have been me and Andy, we're like kind of standing in between the two groups, kind of
Yeah.
just doing this like.
I was just trying to say what's
we're
up, Rosenbaum.
professional Congoers
Yeah.
at this time. We understand, keep eyes on everybody.
Yeah,
I'm
we're like
usually the
we're
middleman.
like a good entourage.
Yes.
Not like that. Like
Oh,
we're
yeah.
we're like Turtle. Oh yeah. Or like we're like E, not like Turtle. You know what I mean?
I can't believe you
Never
fucked
watched
up with
that
Sloan
show,
so much.
but I get it. But eventually, Michael Rosenbaum walks out of the green room, immediately like sees something up the escalator.
Sees Danielle Panabaker.
Yeah, gets distracted, starts
goes,
walking the other way,
"Panabaker!"
just, whatever.
He just
And-
screamed Panabaker. She goes, "Oh hey,
and
Michael."
I'm just like, he's our Nick.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, the
100%,
amount of times we've been trying to get
100%.
Nick to just follow.
Well, no, you
just
missed it.
go where I
Before
need him to
that,
go.
she goes, Rosenbaum, come on. And he goes, oh, okay. Looked over, sees the actress from Once Upon a Time, knows her, and she goes, oh hey Mike, and they start talking, and then she's like, that was when the handler was like, Michael, Rosenbaum, let's go. We gotta go. And then he walks out and he immediately sees Killer Frost from fucking Flash, and they start rapping. I was like, let's just go. He's not coming. He's not coming to this panel.
Yeah, he's gonna miss it.
It was like when you and I walked away from Nick when he was talking to that alcohol, the handler.
I was trying to steal booze, and you guys were like, "Oh, this is weird." I'm like, "I want to get hammered.
Yeah,
I
it was
need to
just-
drink
it was
after
such a
Henry
Do you know what
Winkler.
Henry Winkler did to
After
me
the fucking
today?
Kansas City screw job."
Yeah, the Kansas City screw job had just happened. We were waiting for Greg to do his panel. Greg went to like the real green room, like the special green
Time
room.
out 1 second, because that's another great story that we haven't talked about backstage.
Man,
where
they really wanted you guys to use that green room. By the way.
there was a green room that we had been walked to with the barbecue and everybody's there and yada yada yada.
William Shatner was there.
And so when we walked backstage after the Kansas City screw job, we're like, all right, we're gonna go to the green. We're talking to the guy who runs the backstage area. We're gonna go to the green room, but we'll be back for the Smallville panel. And the guy's like, ooh, well, yeah. I don't know if you can do that. Like, you guys, we love you and you're great, but like, you know, the Smallville guys are a bigger deal than you. They might need the green room. And I was like, what? And he kept spinning his wheels. I'm like, I stopped him. Like, we're gonna go downstairs to the green room with the food. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. There's another green room here, but that's just for talent, like in the holding area before the thing. And then
Like
we're
real
like,
talent,
well,
not
now we
you
want to go to that
hosts.
green room. You know what I mean?
Not you fucking disposable moderators.
Yeah.
So we stood in the hallway, but then later you got to go to the
yeah.
the real green room,
Which was weird
with the
because we were
Smallville
there
people.
5 minutes before the panel started. The guy's like, "You guys want to go to the green room?" He was really excited about the green room.
Yeah, yeah.
Putting you
Was
guys
it
in the real
cool?
green room.
Sure.
And you, not even skipping a beat, fucking left us in the dust.
I thought
You did it.
I
Yeah.
always
Job.
forget who I'm with. You know what I mean? Nick Scarpino, Betty Rule Man over here. It's like if they give you the opportunity, just go.
Go.
Don't ask anything. Walk with me. Just walk with me.
No, I understand, but I literally
a real
I heard
bitch
green
move,
room, and I
yeah.
was like, "Oh, they're not gonna go to
Which
the
is
green
a bitch
room."
move.
I was like, "This thing
Leaving
starts
us.
in 2 minutes. Why would they go
We
to the
still
green
didn't
room?"
have Dean Cain. Dean Cain was still missing in
That's
action.
fair. But what happened was, here's what really happened: was Greg saw Tom Welling and was like, "Fuck you guys, I'm with Tom Welling." And
had a job to do.
I gotta be honest with you. It was the right decision.
It was.
It was 100% the right
I mean,
decision.
look at him. Look at us. He's
I
like,
know,
fucking
right?
Christ,
Yeah,
it's
I was like,
gorgeous.
man, is that Carl Urban?
So at this
he was
point,
really cool about that.
I'll
At this
tell you-
point,
oh, sorry, go
Greg and the Smallville people and eventually Dean Cain go to the real green room. They're gone. Meanwhile, me, Andy, Kev, Nick, all stuck in the random back hallway that we're in, right? And then there's this woman who has this cart just full of alcohol. And out of all of us, Nick drinks the least
Yeah.
for sure.
No, but
who's
yeah.
the first to talk to her? Nick,
Because I wanted bourbon.
Nick, yeah,
I was like, I got excited because when we were at RTX, here's what I thought. Oh, behind the stage at Let's Play Live at RTX, they had a full bar, and I was like, what a great idea. Get your guests, get the people that are going to go on stage a little loose before they go up. I thought she was setting up a bar, and I'm like, this was where I got screwed over by
Henry Winkler.
the
The
wound
wink.
is fresh.
And I'm
The
like, the
wink
wound is
job.
fresh. You know what'll help with clean that
God.
wound out? A little bit of bourbon. And she had 2 bottles of like Jim Beam bourbon, which I don't think I've ever seen before. I was like, are you pouring these? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, why do you have this alcohol? Like, where's this alcohol going? I guess that alcohol was supposed to go to the real green room that Captain fucking Sparklehead over here, like, big deal.
Captain Sparklehead.
Fucking Starry Eyes over here was like, gonna get that. So I'm just trying. I'm like, what do I gotta do? What do I gotta do?
So meanwhile, while this is happening, we just see Nick like talking to her. We don't even really hear him. We just see him walk up to
Nick
her.
being Nick.
And in the same way that, like, you know, if Greg was like, we're going to the real green room, and then Nick would have peeled off because he didn't want to be a part of it, the same thing happened, but it was just Nick talking, and one by one, me, Kevin, and Andy separately, without having a moment of talking to each other, all turn around and just walk separate ways as if we all had this like shame about ourselves.
Why?
There's just something. It was
See,
really.
now-
It's like in the beginning of the show. Keenan
I
and Kel,
honestly don't
where
understand why.
Keenan would come out and like tell this whole fucking thing, and then Kel would be like, here it goes."
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
the
that's
episode
true.
starts.
Wow.
That's what it is.
You
It's
guys
just
are
like,
crazy. You
About what?
About what?
This. Seeing Nick Scarpino in motion is a thing of beauty. I go the opposite. When I see it happening, I flock to it. Similar to when we were getting the tour of the floor, Andy saw some Papa Shot he wanted to go play. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to look at this comic book thing. Then I turned around and I walked over and I saw Andy trying to get in the Papa Shot thing. And meanwhile, Nick just talking to some woman behind the 5-hour energy counter. And I was like, I got to know what this is about. And I walked, it wasn't about 5-hour energy. It was a little bit about like, I don't know why Andy just doesn't cut to the line. You know,
Because
Wait,
go
I
ahead,
was just
Kevin.
saying briefly. It's because he's your contemporary. You look at him and you're like, oh, this guy could be my brother, my cousin. We look at him and he's our creepy uncle, creeping people out.
No, so the 5-hour energy drink, another great conversation that happened. Andy and I see this
Top 10
5-hour
conversation.
energy drink, and the girl behind, like the booth girl behind it was like, do you guys want a 5-hour energy drink? And Andy and I are like, yeah, let's do that. She goes, well, you got to fill out this form first. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do
This
that. But
questionnaire.
The questionnaire. But it was one page, like, oh, put your email in and your name. So of course,
Did you
I
do what
typed
I
mine
did?
in. What?
Did you do what I do?
I typed in Kevin.
Coelho.
Right? I put his email in.
I love a free trial of this.
Flashback to 3 days ago when we were in Kansas City, and Kevin goes, "How do they keep getting my number?"
I legitimately said that. Fuck you guys. How do you guys do it? Are you serious?
Listen, I don't like my information being out there, all right?
Don't fucking put mine.
Kevin, you're our buffer. Do you
Dude,
understand
that's
that?
so
You're
funny.
our buffer.
Because for like months.
It was your. By the way, it was. I would never give anyone your phone number.
No, but my
It was
email.
just your name, Kevin.
I didn't even use yours. I used mine.
Nick, have you done this before?
No, I did it literally because I saw you behind me and I
All
thought it'd be
right. Greg,
hilarious.
have you done this
Because
before?
you were you walked up and you were
I've
filming
never
the
done
thing.
it. It was just a joke. And I definitely would never give anybody's phone number.
All right.
I found
But
it
if
was
you want
weird
it,
though that I
Patreon.com.
memorized your social security number and put it in. But no, then what happened was she saw Andy get like cut the line, and then it like an alarm went off in her head. Oh, these guys are special. They're someone. They're being toured around. She saw the guy that was touring us around. She goes, "Oh, what do you?" And then got super interested and was like, "What do you guys do?" And I said, "Oh, we're YouTubers." And she goes, "Oh, I've always wanted to be a YouTuber." To which I replied, "No barrier to entry whatsoever. You can literally start doing it
Just
right
do it,
now.
dude.
You can make a video and upload it from your phone right
you
now."
should just be the 5-hour energy drink
5-hour
booth
energy
lady.
drink booth lady, yeah. So we started talking. I was like, yeah, and people ask us that. So I was being nice and be like, youtube.com/kindafunny. Check it out. We're all, nerd stuff, whatever, yada yada. Oh, what? Yeah. Follow your dreams. And then we left.
yeah, follow your
I
dreams.
fucking crushed it. Right, Kev?
Did you? Oh yeah.
I thought you didn't even shoot him. Isn't that what I thought you couldn't cut the line or something? It was
No,
awesome.
then-
Leaving
Yeah,
the
they cut-
video, he got 100%.
Oh, wow.
He didn't miss
Didn't
one
miss one.
shot.
Didn't miss one, dude. And it was a hoop that was like
It was moving.
it was
So let
moving.
me tell you,
like,
the
more
green
than
room
you
you guys didn't follow me into like a bunch of saps.
Was it
Tell me
Right.
all about it.
Horrible.
Really?
It was a gajillion degrees, and the only thing that was cool is that it had its own private bathroom. There was like a bottle of water in there. You didn't miss anything.
The funnious thing about that is the hallway we were in also
So
had
cool.
a private bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go
Great,
around
and
with
a shower. I took
Yeah.
a shower in it.
and
I had to wipe off the filth of Henry Winkler. But the other funny thing that happened was Kevin, who was like, I'm being healthy this weekend. I'm not having any carbs or beer or whatever, and I'm not smoking any cigarettes this weekend. Saw Rose and Bob walk out of the green room because I've got like immediately walk in and walked immediately out, and then walked outside. And Kevin went, I bet he's smoking a cigarette. And it looked at me, and I was like, I
You
got
got
to
it.
Kevin.
You got it.
That sounds really fucking. Like if I still smoked, I'd be like, let's
That's
go
a
smoke with
business
Michael
expense.
Rosenbaum. So Kevin's like, fuck it, I'm gonna try. Goes out there. 5 seconds later, comes right back. I was like, what happened? He goes, he said no. He's not gonna give me a cigarette. It was like
So-
the guy that he was with had the cigarettes. The guy was
he
like,
didn't
I
say
don't
no.
want to.
The guy I was with was like, "Oh, I'm running really low," and it's like we've all given that fucking false line. All right, you dick, I'm out.
Yeah, that means I don't know you. I don't want to give you one of
Yeah,
my last few
100%.
cigarettes. Because
Sure,
when you're at
fair,
conventions,
fair.
like there's no place to buy. You have to literally walk like half a mile to
Yeah.
the shop to buy cigarettes. So if you have your own cigarettes, like when I used to smoke at VidCon and people were like, let me get one, I'm like, fuck you, dude. Because the nearest convenience store is like half a mile away. I'm not walking out of this. I mean, like, you know, it's like, these are real blocks. These are like suburb blocks. I'm not, fuck you. You're not getting one. Unless you're a cosplayer, in which case, here you go. Hi, I'm Nick.
So it was 100 degrees in your green room, and
Yeah.
backstage it was like 20 degrees.
Yeah, it was cold back
Holy
there.
shit! It was really, really cold back there.
That's why they got.
I love the coldness of the city.
frigidness.
The frigidness.
Yeah, didn't you put up an Instagram story bitching about how cold it was on the walk
Okay,
home?
well, you didn't let me finish my sentence.
My apologies, sir.
Before that night. But like while we were walking around to Up Down, that bar, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, but only
Cool
because
bar, by the way.
only because I had kind of prepared for it. I brought the hoodie with a heavier jacket over it.
We woke up Saturday morning to go get a haircut because Kevin was going to go film me get a haircut. And I threw open the shades like fucking Scrooge in Christmas Carol, and it was snowing.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is going on? What month is it? What month is it
Yeah,
right
snow.
now?
I missed that.
Oh yeah,
You slept in.
snowed
Yeah, we
lightly.
went and it snowed while we were out there.
it was beautiful. We had to stand outside for like 5 minutes in the snow. Hated that.
There was a guy waiting in his car too, and it
He
was
looked
weird.
really comfortable.
Yeah, he looked comfortable. And then he got in and we were talking about Avengers and he started asking us questions. He was there to get a haircut too. And then it was like, you know, I blind picked this place that we went to, right? Great place. The haircut looks good, I think. And they serve beer and they also serve coffee and stuff. So we had a coffee while I waited. Kevin didn't want anything. But and not knowing what I was doing, right? Here's the thing. Let's start. Let me rewind and just put this out there. Is it possible to do things as an old man and not come off as a creepy old man?
Not that I know of.
Because when I blind picked this place, right? And eventually I booked with a female barber. It's a barbershop, promoted as a barbershop, not a beauty salon. Important to the story in a second. And I booked with this woman, right? Another woman showed up and opened the door. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm your 9 o'clock. She's like, oh, I think you're actually with this other. I'm like, oh, okay. Then another woman showed up. I'm like, oh, it's an all-female staff. Interesting. And they're all young, like 20-something female staff. Interesting.
Probably got
Then
cool, ironical tattoos.
They totally did.
Like
You
one
totally
has an
understand.
arrow. You're like, oh, cool, an arrow tattoo.
They had a lot of tattoos. The one who did my hair is desperate to move to San Francisco at some point.
One
Yeah,
has like
it's that.
Control Alt Delete or something.
That's
Like,
not, that's
cool.
not cool enough. That's not,
know.
that's cool
That
in
seems
our-
cool,
that's
right,
cool in
Kevin?
our-
No. I'm
Andy,
talking
I hate that.
Anyways, they all dress like Paula. You understand? Like it's like, oh, it's like, okay, cool.
No,
No, that's a different person. We'll get to that
They
in a
were all
second.
trying to dress like Paula.
Fair.
Yeah.
And that's not me knocking Paula. I'm trying to give you like, hey, we are hip millennial chicks. We're young. You know what I mean? All this stuff. We
know
love
what's
our
happening.
phones.
We know what's fucking
We love our
happening.
emojis. Bing bong.
LOL, totes.
You know what I mean?
But stuff was
Anyways,
TFW.
though, this old man who was there to get his hair cut, he had like little to no hair.
TFS.
It's like a hair you would you buzz cut, right? It's like that short of hair, right? And so he goes and he gets it, and then he went and got the shampoo. And he was over there getting shampooed after like she cut his hair for a while, and then it was that, and he knew all about them earlier when me and Kevin were making jokes or whatever. I forget what it was, but we were talking about it's too early for me. And he's like, oh, it's never too early for drinking or whatever. And it was like, okay. And then he went over and got his shampoo, and it seemed like it went on a long time. And I'm getting the hair cut so I can look in the mirror and see the young girl giving him the thing, and I'm like, she seems like she's taking a long time for this man who's balding and has just a buzz cut. And I was like, is he a creepy old man? Is he here like every weekend? Like, oh, just trim it up a bit. And he just wants a woman to touch his head. And that's when I was like, you know what, Kevin? I don't like this man anymore. I don't like this man anymore.
If he pays the $50.
No, but you know,
Well, he pays the money. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like the barber shop, that's what it's for. Like if I had infinite funds, I would get my haircut every week because my dude does the hot towel, gives me a little back massage, makes me feel special and good.
It wasn't until my last Supercuts thing where wait, was it Supercuts? My last haircut before this haircut, where I was like, "Hey, all right, cool, thanks very much." And she was like, "Cool, do you want me to shampoo your hair?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "Oh, you're gonna do it later?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" It was a shoot day for somewhere we were doing something, and sure enough, I didn't shampoo my hair, and I changed shirts, and I had like hair on me, and I was like, "Oh, that's why they do that."
Yeah.
I grew up in a barbershop. They didn't do that to you.
No, yeah,
you
they
ask for that
always-
kind of shit, they throw razor blades at your face. They get out of here.
Nah, they shampoo. If you got something to do, you gotta get that shampoo, get all the hair out.
Because I took it yesterday. All right, yeah, I took it on Saturday or whatever.
Yeah,
and then
you
I was
got
like,
to
wait, am I a creepy old man? I'm like, no, I'm her contemporary.
No, you're not a creepy
No,
old man.
you're not.
You're a client. I don't think the other guy was creepy either. Maybe she likes to. I mean,
But
it's
he
not
was
his
doing
fault.
that thing where he's wearing like the tan windbreaker, creepy old man stuff.
What do you think he's offering
tan
candy to
windbreaker.
kids?
Probably he had those he had the light
by the way,
wash jeans.
It's the barber's prerogative when the head thing ends. You don't just stay there and then when you do, you hit a button. They give you the.
Yeah, I'm sure if
Turn
he's
off the
there
things,
every
whichever-
weekend, tipping 40%, I'm sure he gets an extra head rub.
I mean, that's why I
Well,
tip.
then-
I tip extra because
I
my
mean,
guy.
yeah, that
at
shit-
one point,
that
my
shit just
barber
feels good.
was like, "Hey, man, do you want like can I try something on you?" I'm like, "Dude, fuck
Get
yeah."
in there.
Stab,
My
stab,
body,
stab.
my body is your canvas.
Yeah.
And he took out this like stone that he had warmed, and like put some like lotion on it and then rubbed it on
that
my
sounds
shoulder.
incredible.
Sure.
Like pulled down the end, rubbed it on my back, and I was like,
Sure.
"Fuck,
This is the
man!"
best thing ever.
Like when someone does something that nice for you without even like, and like I'm not paying extra for this. He's like, I'm just gonna do your good. You know. I think it was like Christmas time, and he was like, "This is my little extra for you right now because you've been loyal."
Been
to
here.
me."
Season of giving,
And
yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah,
Season
man."
of giving. Right?
Here's what I
Fuck
got.
yeah.
Here's what I think. If the old man was getting his head rubbed, and then the woman stopped, and he was like, "You're done when I say we're done, honey."
or if she's rubbing his
Maybe.
head and looks down and just fucking pitches a tent down there, then it's creepy. But otherwise, it's fine.
Robert
I
Kraft.
know, guys. I was there.
You're talking about millennials.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, Kevin was there. I
Kevin,
want
was he
Kevin's
creepy?
input.
And like just looking at him initially, it was like, why are you fucking here? You don't have hair.
Maybe he likes to get it, but it's a barber thing. It's
Here's
a guy
the thing.
thing.
Here's the thing.
Kevin had a camera.
Andy looks fantastic.
You gonna go get it?
Cuts his own hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy barely any hair. Getting head rubs from girls.
by the way,
60 years his youngest.
me. Oh, I thought you meant me. I was like, no, my guy's a guy, first off, and he's 20 years older than me.
No, this wasn't about you. It's not always
You-
about you.
you
I
pointed at
understand.
me. I'm sorry,
Henry
I was-
Winkler screwed you out of 45 minutes of fame. Don't throw it in my face.
It was going to be historic. It was going to be monumental.
It was going to be a great icebreaker when you run into Ron Howard.
Ron Howard. I'm not even thinking about Ron Howard. I'm thinking of fucking the guy that, what's his name? The bald guy
Ron
that directed The Princess Bride.
Wallace
Ron,
Shawn. Wallace Shawn.
no.
Fuck, not Ron Perlman.
I know.
That poor
I
kid
can
just
picture.
farted, and now I can't think about anything. It's
Don't
just
blame the
too
dog
stinky.
for your farts.
No, I would claim it if it came out of me.
Fuck. Oh my God, it's right there.
Fuck is his name. Chat's probably going. Mr. Yasman 300. is
I
going
know who
crazy
you're talking
in
about.
chat.
Fuck.
He was on. He was on Happy Days.
I've
He
seized.
played Jughead, dumbass. What was his
Jughead.
name? Not Jughead. Lughead. No, fuck. I'll look it up.
Directed.
Okay,
No, let me
so,
look it up.
Okay, first off, a lot of it's
Right?
it's
no,
not.
he wasn't on. He was on
Rob
All in the
Reiner.
Family. Rob Reiner was on
Rob Reiner,
All
All in the Family. There
He
it is.
played
Yeah.
What was his character's name in All in the Family?
I didn't watch All in the Family.
Lumpy.
Lumpy.
It was like Jughead or something.
already
stupid
It was
like
something
that.
lughead, lug nut.
All right, sorry.
I don't know.
what were
Archie
you gonna
Bunker
say?
sucks.
I want to go back to something though. Nick.
Sure.
You're a millennial. We were talking about Paula, and you were like saying Greg went Bing Bang Bop was I think his millennial.
Well, emojis and then Bing Bang Bop.
Emojis, Bing Bang Bop, and then you
You
started.
text Bing Bang Bop to Gia right now. She's gonna know what that means, man.
Do it.
She's like, not until next week.
Nick,
Meow.
you said a bunch of things. You did a bunch of Nick things, and then at some point you said TFW.
Yeah.
And then look at me.
Yeah.
And I looked at you.
You looked at me because you were like, I think you did that wrong.
I know. I
And
just
it's
don't
not.
understand what your. Was that
Millennial
supposed to be,
speak. That feeling
face
when.
That face when is that what you were going off?
No, it's that feeling when.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh.
I mean, I guess that
Okay.
face when is the more like.
Oh, was that the more thing? Fuck millennials.
Fuck them, man.
But I just.
It sure is cool having a bikini.
I don't care if I get a follower. Here's an inspirational thing that I'm gonna say. That's my other big fucking thing. I
Guys,
can't say.
my
other
day is
fucking
rough.
thing.
I'm almost to the point with Instagram where I'm like, I gotta unfollow everyone. It's just I'm all for positivity.
Everyone.
I'm all for positivity, but every time I scroll, someone's trying to have the like iconic inspirational statement of the era. Like everyone's trying to have the fucking adage that's gonna be remembered forever, and they're all wrong and they're all dumb. Where it's like you miss everyone's trying to say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but they're always like, if I said it, where it's like you miss 100% of shots if you take them, and I'm like, oh, I guess that works. Sure, I don't know. I'm curmudgeon-y.
It's the wink effect,
I
man.
follow a lot of, but to be fair, I follow a lot of jiu-jitsu guys that are all trying to be like John Danaher, and you don't know who that is, but like no one's John Danaher
You
except for
should
John
just
Danaher.
follow Sean Finnegan. That's it. Yeah.
Did you see he biked 15 miles today?
did.
I can't follow him anymore because he's skateboarding too fast.
You guys are fucking mean.
Tim, bring me another beer. How is it mean? You know what I mean?
It's not mean.
No.
If I say it to his face,
Today
Okay,
is
yeah.
not mean. This weekend was mean.
To who?
No, you weren't there.
Oh, probably not. Oh, yeah, okay.
no, we were fucking with. I'll say it. We were fucking with Finnegan because he's taking all these glamour shots of himself. Now that he's all LA. He's all pretty in LA, and he's like wearing long shirts and fucking playing games, and he's one of the thieves.
Playing games.
And then he's like, I'm into skateboarding now. Now, to be fair, Sean Finnegan's always skateboarded, but he's never actually taken a picture of his skateboard and just posted that on Instagram. And so, listen, when your friend does that, your responsibility as a bro,
Put him
as
in
a
check.
dude, is to put his ass in check. that's
Now,
where it
what
is.
I wrote down there was a quote. We were fucking with Finnegan this weekend, is what you said.
Yeah.
Now, I would say this. when we were fucking with Kevin this weekend, right? We made some jokes, Paula Paula and all that stuff, right? Right. To say we were fucking with Finnegan, I think sounds like he was in the room.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I apologize. We were talking shit about Finnegan.
Shit about him in a closed circle of people who knew him.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Spot on. Now he knows. Now he knows.
Now he knows. Now it's out there.
He's not gonna fucking listen to this.
No, of
that's
course
the
not.
power of Finnegan. I've told him this multiple times to his face. I'm like, we talk so much. We make fun of you on the podcast sometimes. Like we do everyone here. We make fun of everyone. But I tell him these things to his face. Like Tim and I have had multiple conversations where like just how you guys say things to me, where I say something like ridiculous, and you're like, that was a little ridiculous what you said. That's the whole point of having a group of guys around you that can just tear you down and make you mentally and
just
emotionally
friends.
unstable.
It doesn't mean a guy thing.
It's mostly a guy thing. I don't know how many female friends that decide that it's just a good idea
Your
to tear me down.
your female comic friends don't tear you down.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah,
Thank
they fuck
you
with me
very
a lot.
much. My
Oh,
wife
yeah, they
doesn't
make-
tear you down. Gia Tap Harris doesn't tear you down.
No, I just think of one name and one name only. Andrea Renee.
There it is. There it is. Look at you want to talk about the damage the Wink did. Don't even get me started on what Andrea Renee's done to this man.
So I'm getting flashbacks from Nam. Getting flashbacks from Nam.
Dude, shout out to all of the cosplayers at this convention.
Dude,
I was so impressed
me
by
too.
the amount of not just cosplay, but really good cosplay.
Yeah.
It was really impressive.
Yeah, when we were rolling up and we were driving, I was looking out the window. I was like, holy shit. Like, you never know when you go to these smaller conventions. And I say smaller. It was a huge convention.
Yeah.
But smaller, somewhere you've never been before.
Well, small
It's-
compared to San Diego Comic Con,
Right.
which is like takes over an entire
And so
city.
you're never sure if it's going to be like people who are like,
Rinky dink, sort of, whatever.
And
yeah.
not that I'm putting that down, but I mean,
Yeah.
No, it's just
I
like
remember when I went to Comic Cons, and I'm talking like, not when I'd go to like the fucking Marriott in Glen Ellen on Roosevelt Road, right? And there'd be a comic convention there, and you'd be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, this is like, everybody threw this together, thank you. And then we've traveled the world now, going to a million different places. Like everybody had, not everybody, but most people had super fucking legit. Shout out to the Elastigirl.
Yeah.
This is incredible with her own baby that
with
she had
the
dressed
baby
up as Jack.
pushing the cart. Yeah,
That was awesome. Well, I don't know
yeah.
if it's her baby. She could have kidnapped it, but a baby.
She could have.
That was cool.
Yeah,
she
that was
good.
awesome.
Yeah, a lot of like surprisingly shocking amount of good cosplay.
There was that
Oh,
guy on the stilts.
That guy was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
That guy scared the shit
I don't know what he was, but it was
out
scary.
of me.
It was
He's gonna
scary.
fucking fall.
Yeah.
A lot of shitty Johnny Ace cosplay. Just one of the
No,
worst
that was-
characters in
that was-
fiction.
That was John. John was there.
Yeah.
There were three of them.
No, but those people
wasn't
cosplaying him.
No, yeah, that was meta.
He was there, but there was like 3 other cosplayers.
you
of
don't get
him.
it because you're too old now, but you don't understand the internet works.
One of the worst things we ever did was
TFW.
let Andy and Nick get put together. You know what I mean? Because like Andy then has to defend Nick. Fucking sucks.
There's a hierarchy, okay? There's a hierarchy. And if you are at the top of the pecking order, and it changes, whoever's at the top sometimes changes, you gotta get knocked down a couple
So
pegs.
you're the top?
No, not now. No, I'm at the bottom. After the Kansas City
Andy's the
screw
top.
job.
After Winkler.
After I got
winked.
After I got winked. After I got winked at, I'm at the bottom now. I got a lot of ground to make up. Let's put it that way. I love his little pitter patter.
Yeah.
It's just that vest, man. And it just is the
You gonna go
best
swimming
thing I've
later?
ever seen.
Yeah. So if you're an audio listener, Portillo wears a vest now.
It's a safety
For
vest.
years and years of having the collar, he was a collar dog, right? And then, when he hurt his back this time around, we started using the vest for a more even pull on him. And so, I was always, his entire life, this dog's worn the collar and never had it off. Very much like Jet Li in the movie The Collar.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh, yeah.
Unleashed, I think was the name
brought
of
the love
it.
of my life, Jean-Vive Saint Ange, into the world. And, she got introduced to Portillo into our world.
Got
I
it.
guess she existed beforehand.
Yeah, I was like, I don't
Maybe
know.
I did mold her out of clay. Nobody knows.
Oh my
you know
God.
what I mean?
Rita Repulsa.
What? No, Wonder Woman.
Rita
Rita Repulsa was made out of clay?
No,
That's
she
how they made the
made
bad
people
guys.
out
The putties? She
Well,
made them.
Even
She
the,
didn't outsource
even
that?
the bosses.
She would make the big bosses and be like, make my monsters grow.
Oh yeah, I do remember that actually. Yeah. God,
Jen.
can we please film that for Kind of Funny, whatever the next live event is? How Greg found the love of his life.
Playing with Play-Doh.
I'm gonna tell you this: if we had infinite funds, we would do a short that was just like me and you making Jen like Weird Science,
Weird science.
and we have the missile go through.
Weird Science.
Ding, ding. We still could do
It
that.
was like on TV, but I didn't
We
really
could do
watch
what
it.
we could do
I've
is
never
for
seen
something we could do a thing where it is like it'd be like Clue, like but maybe
beep,
this
beep,
is
beep,
how it
beep,
ended
beep,
or
beep,
whatever,
beep, beep,
right?
beep.
And it's
Yeah.
like we just
Guys,
do a million.
what is it about
I was going somewhere.
whether it's a cheap hotel or a very expensive hotel? Why do all the fucking soaps smell the same and they're all garbage?
Well, I'm so dry right now.
Yeah.
Those soaps are terrible,
I
dude.
didn't mind it. It was Avena. It was a good soap.
They all smell like the fucking like the
Goodwill.
color gray. Like it's just the most plain gross thing ever. I hate it,
Yeah,
dude.
it's safe. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
What do you mean it's safe? What?
When I
Like
say
it's
it-
baseline. It's
Yeah.
like,
A
good smelling
for
thing
most
is
people
unsafe?
aren't offended by it.
Yeah.
Well, a good smell to you is a bad smell to me. You know what I mean?
I've started bringing my own stuff.
It's a
I
horrible
bought these
thing.
this set of these little like squishy container things, and I just put my body wash, put my shampoo.
Pro move.
Like this is a very nice hotel, and it's like, what is this shit, dude?
I didn't mind it.
Sucks.
I thought it was okay.
But it's always the same though. Is my problem?
Yeah,
with
sure.
it.
Yeah, totally.
Except if you stay at the W though, I think they have like a lemon scented
Oh,
soap.
I love it. I
The
love
W's
it.
on another level though.
I love it.
W is obnoxious.
I love it.
Be good.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. Just make
But
sure.
like,
I'm
What,
saying
you
solid.
don't like carpet on the ceiling? How dare you? How
Dude, I
dare
say to
you.
the
They're fucking
man.
weird.
I say to the Manhattan W when I went and did that Star Trek event. Man, fuck the Manhattan W. Bunch of assholes worked there and the room sucked.
Oh yeah.
I was like, so because I was like, if you've never stayed in Lower Manhattan or for like an event or like in a hotel, just in general, like all hotel rooms that suck downtown. New York.
suck.
I've never
They're
been to a
tiny.
New York hotel that is even decent.
No.
Dude,
Well, my first.
the Indigo was really cool in New York.
Where did we stay? When was that?
It was me and Cool Greg.
Okay, fair.
Now, the Indigo
It's
is
good to
the
know.
same name of the hotel that we stayed at in
Hotel Indigo
Which
in
is why
Kansas
we
City.
tried to Uber
Kansas
there.
City, and then we tried to Uber. That's a story for later.
Oh, that is
That's
that's
a great
an amazing
story.
I tried to Uber to New York.
Oh, you didn't
Don't
know.
worry
You
about it.
didn't
Don't
tell
worry
this
about
one?
it.
Let's tell it right
Finish
now.
your thing.
Anyways, all the hotel rooms suck. I've been in New York a million times. They're always terrible. Of course, just like with anything else, I'm all about loyalty points. So I was always on the W loyalty points, but they've now combined that with Marriott. You know what I mean? So it's like I get fucking points anywhere now. So when I was doing this thing, I was like, fuck it. We're rolling W. Doesn't matter. They're paying for it. Let's see if it's, and you got there and first off, I got there and I was pissed off because I did the thing where you've heard the story of that time we tried to go to the bowl game in Mizzou and I got there and we were all hungover. We got to the room. They're like, oh, you don't have you don't have a room. Like, oh, we have a reservation. Like, that's not how it works. You didn't come in to check in, so you don't have a room. Like, well, we had a reservation. There's a big argument. It's never happened since. Showed up at this place. I took a red eye. I got there like 4:30 in the morning. Rolled up and there was like clearly they were not expecting any human being to walk in. Like, hey, and I'm like, hey, I'm here to check in. And I took the red eye or whatever. And they were like, oh, well, did you pay for last night? Because and I'm like, yeah, I did actually. And like, oh, and they looked it up and like, oh, well, you're lucky. This is the final room. And I'm like, no, I prepaid and the prepay got lost or something. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you have the reservation. It says that outside. Whatever. Go up there, open it up, and yeah, it was carpeted floor in the room. The bed's still shoved really close together, and it's just like, this is gross. Everything's gross and dirty here. And that's when I was like, New York hotel rooms in general suck.
They do.
Here's why. It's because all the buildings are used to be something else, and they're all old. And instead of like going through and gutting them and retrofitting them, they just are like, slap some fucking paint on this thing and let's call it the W. It's always, and the elevators are always like, it's like the hotel we stayed at like 3 years in a row at Comic-Con above the cool diner.
Oh, God, the
where the
Radisson?
hotel, where it was like, we're trying to be a hotel, and this is not a hotel. This is like a halfway
not
house
a
for people
hotel.
who have murdered
Seriously,
people.
That is what it is, man.
The
That
elevator is a death fucking trap.
It's one of those ones with the gate doors.
I remember
that, they closed and you need
From
you
Home
have to
Alone
close
or
it
something?
yourself.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
my
it was
God.
bad.
It's horrible.
bad.
But the New York story.
Oh, yeah,
Great
I'll be right
Miller.
back.
Oh, sure, please.
We are at the barbecue place with the always and forever antlers.
Yeah.
And then when we left, you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep hanging out with them." We were all little whiny bitches, and we were tired.
No,
so
you're
it's like,
tired,
let's
it's okay.
let's go home.
Also, do you
So-
want to just hear me and Kyle keep talking about old antler stories? You got things to do.
So we called the Uber. I called Uber more specifically. And all night Kevin's been talking about how he thinks that it's the same Indigo hotel chain that we're staying at that he stayed before out of New York and whatever. And so I just type in Indigo Hotel and I hit search, and then I just click on it and whatever. We wait for the Uber comes. We get in, and this woman just looks at us. It goes, "Ding," like where it's going. She goes, "Oh man, we're going to New York. Let's go." And we all like kind of laugh, like we didn't really get what she was saying. And then she's like, "Wait, are we seriously going to New York?" And we all look at it. We're like, "Oh my god!" And she's like, "It's gonna be 22 hours." She was like, "Hey, I'll take the $4,000."
God, that would have been awesome.
And Nick was like, trust me, it's not worth it. You do not want to be in a car with us.
Yeah, great. She was awesome. She drove us back. Was such a fun little.
Well, it was kind of getting
Conversation going
kind
on.
of scary though. I was having some stomach issues. Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Just
The
having
barbecue
some-
wasn't sitting well?
No, I think it was the pizza prior to that.
Oh, yeah.
We had one slice of pizza. and I think
Uptown. We went to the
think
Uptown arcade. Really nice barcade.
I think
Some
the
of the worst
cheese.
pizza I've ever had.
Really nice barcade. Yeah, the pizza was like
I
whatever.
think the cheese kind of got to me, right?
Yeah, okay.
And so I was having stomach issues at the hotel or there at the restaurant. And then as we were leaving, I was like, I think I'm done. I think like, but then as we're driving down,
Like,
you
I
know,
think-
it's raining. It's raining a whole lot. And she's like, I'm not going to go on the highways just because, it's raining out and I'm kind of nervous with the roads.
Sure,
and
yeah.
And I'm like, all right. And she's going
your life.
super slow.
So slow.
And I just feel my stomach like
And going back to what we were
cramping up
saying
like,
earlier
oh
about
boy,
Nick.
oh boy.
Nick's going in.
Oh yeah.
There's this nice, 79-year-old woman?
Yeah.
Something like
so
that.
I thought she was way younger than that. She said she was 60 something. I thought she was way younger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She said she was 60
Yeah.
later, but I think that she was being.
She was rounding down.
Really? I thought she was like
I
45.
thought she was old. And Nick is just charming her pants.
That's what he does, man. That's what Nick does.
He's a schmoozer, man. He's the ultimate schmoozer.
But like,
It's his
why,
gift, it's his
why
curse.
would Uber let me do that? Like, not only let me do that, why would that be its first option? If there's another Indigo hotel,
I think it was just GPS.
Would you
issue.
put Indigo Hotel or Hotel Indigo? There you go. There's your answer. Pwned.
I think I just put Indigo.
Peon, dude? Got him.
P.O., yeah.
I just put it in Indigo, and the first option was the New York Hotel Indigo.
That happens to me when I have bad GPS, where it's just like it can't tell that I'm right here, so it just gives you a general listing of
But
whatever.
What's weird about that is they knew where we were. Like, my GPS was obviously working enough for them to know our location.
Oh, got it.
So, and on top
Technology,
of that,
man, it's
no
crazy.
matter what, it's like I get the general area, but we're talking about New York City.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they've been paying attention to kindoffunny.com/events. They knew you had to go
Oh,
there
next
eventually.
next up, yeah.
Yeah, you cranked this one, not really, but you know.
Dude, speaking of people listening to us today.
I was really hoping to say, speaking of people cranking one out.
Oh God, it's Nick. But on Games Daily today, we had that issue with the G2A games.
Oh yeah.
On Internet Explorers, we were like pulling up sites, and every ad was for G2A.
That sucks.
Fuckers,
They got us.
know.
They did it.
They know. They fucking know we're listening,
Yeah.
dude.
Well, no, it's because we use the same computer. So then your tabula.
Cookies.
Yeah, it's like when remember that time Sean Pitts tried to accuse kindoffunny.com of like running weird sex ads or whatever for some porn site, and we had somebody had to respond and be like, "That's based on your search history." He's like, "Oh, well, whatever, yeah."
God, that's so
Shout out to all the best friends at the meetup.
Hell yeah.
So many
what a great
people. It was
An engagement.
gigantic. It was
Yes.
the most packed. Oh yeah, that too. That was very, very emotional.
Yeah.
And I was still sneaking Nutter Butters into your back pocket.
Yeah. For the record, so let's just address it. I have a history now with Nutter Butters. All right, where on KFAF, the most successful episode of the show ever, because I started it, and it was with my very successful property Oreo ration. A prank was pulled on me, where the peanut butter chocolate Oreos were actually Nutter Butters, and it was very funny. And again, I was in on the joke the entire time, and that's why it's a funny thing. You know what I mean? Pull back the curtain a little bit on this. I was talking about how you and I planned that Nutter Butter prank.
He's saying that he's in on a bit.
on KFAF.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
It's funny. I'm just a great actor. And so then during the meet and greet, from what I understand, piecing it afterwards,
But we're here now, huh?
Nick Scarpino was told by a fan, or Nick Scarpino told a fan, "Hey, you know, it'd be funny if we went and bought a lot of Nutter Butters and hid them inside Greg's things." And Nick and a bunch of fans left the meet and greet to go buy some Nutter Butters. Is that what happened?
Oh, I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Well, there's social media proof of you doing it.
I don't.
And I don't know how they. Initially, I thought, oh, the fans are just, you know.
Oh, and I believed until the next morning at breakfast with Nick Scarpino that yes, the fans brought Nutter Butters, not realizing A2 Brute that he had gone out and bought them, probably with the company card. Went out and bought them. How many packages did you buy? 4 Nutter Butter packages.
Now, I want to put the kibosh on this here. This was a terrible idea that did not go as I had wanted it to. I wasn't thinking, obviously, it's just spoilers. I don't think a lot. But what I wasn't expecting was hour 3 of the Nutter Butters still going. I thought it would be the first 10, 15 people would give you the Nutter Butters. You think hilarious. Hour 3, people are hammered.
Oh, yeah.
Screaming about these Nutter Butters.
Yeah.
I think someone got kicked out of the bar because of the Nutter Butters. Nutter Butters are being smashed everywhere. They're everywhere.
I missed all of this.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. It
didn't
was
have to
definitely
sign a
anchored to
Nutter Butter?
MySpace. It was definitely anchored to MySpace.
Because I was holding down a corner that was like pretty far from you guys. I had no idea anybody had Nutter Butters. That's hilarious.
We call it Nutter Butter Gate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was. I thought it'd
Wait,
be
did it-
hilarious
I-
the first
like,
10 minutes. It went
Jokes
on for 3
aside, did
hours.
this go too far?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It went
Really?
Too far. Oh yeah, it went too far.
It's the farthest Nick's ever pushed to where he apologized immediately.
Yeah.
So let's walk it back, right? Is it funny when kids go to shake my hand and they hand me a Nutter Butter? That's fucking hilarious. Yes, that's funny.
Is it funny when
Is
they
it-
try to get you to
No.
sign the switch case and they open it up and there's Nutter Butter in there instead?
Fucking hilarious. Was it funny the first couple times? people started trying to hide them in my pockets while I'm talking to other people. Yes. An hour and a half in, where I'm no longer talking. I'm not talking to you I'm talking to you as best friend, and I'm on autopilot now because I'm worried about people putting shit in my pockets. And so like that's when I had to turn. There was a table in front of us, a lovely couple that had most of the Nutter Butters, and I was like, all right, the wife had actually gone away. He was still there, her girlfriend. And I was like, you got to stop because it's now ruining my experience for the other people. So we can't do this anymore. And then it did become when people were too drunk and couldn't stop. Yeah. Now this bar has been nice enough to invite us here. And there are 4 packages of smashed Nutter Butters all over the fucking floor. And we look like assholes. We look like supreme fucking assholes, which is not what Kind of Funny best friends are, let alone the company. So yeah, it was a funny thing for the night. It went too far. And the ultimate, it went too far, is like literally it's hour 4. We stayed an extra hour.
Right.
I'm at like the last 2 people, and I feel one go in my pocket, and I turn around and it's Nick laughing like Nick laughs. And we haven't talked. Nick does not know.
No. Let's tell the story the way it's supposed to be told. You slipped one. You tried to slip one in my pocket first. So I was like, oh, the joke's still alive.
Sure, fair.
And you said, and I quote, why are your pants so tight?
Yeah,
why
that's
can't
true.
I
That's
get
true.
this
That's
thing
very
inside
true.
you or something like that?
That's very
and
true.
I was like, I've been gaining a lot of weight. Thanks. Don't fucking talk to me about it. I'm really
You got
surprised
these
about it.
like Gap pockets that are just like, foosh, foosh, you know what I mean?
So I was like, oh, I was like, oh, the joke is still going. It's still alive. Greg, the consummate professional, is keeping this great joke that I started alive.
Great joke.
Right? So I was like, cool, I'll slide one in. But I picked one up, and it was, I swear to fucking God, it was in perfect condition before it went into your pocket.
and I think what happened is he slid it in my back pocket, and it clipped the top of my jean and separated. So now it was just
Smeared
cream,
peanut butter.
smeared into my pocket. And so when I pulled it out, and I was like, God fucking, that's the first time he knew that it had gone. Not that even that moment that I had been broken for a while.
I was
That
like, oh no, this was a bad idea.
Yeah. So again, to be crystal clear, do not do this in any other meet and greets. And again, not even for me personally. Like whatever. Don't do it because I do not want ever to be thrown out of a bar because there's fucking Nutter Butters all over the floor. I don't want us to look like assholes, and I also don't want it to be that you've waited in line to talk to me for 2 hours, and now in the middle of your conversation, I'm gonna turn around and yell at somebody for putting Nutter Butters in my hood.
Yeah.
I think they got the idea from me with the pockets. During the engagement, that was when I snuck in the first one and the second one.
Well, thanks for waiting for a non-serious moment.
I was sneaking in one, and then you grabbed everybody's attention, and that's when I was going for number 2. And number 2 is when you've kind of felt it on top, and you're like, God damn it, where did this one come from? And I was like, thinking like, oh, there's one more in there. and you reach for the mic, and you grab the mic, and you went in one more time, and you're like, God damn it, how the fuck?
That's when it was still real funny. That's when it was still real
That was
funny.
at the beginning of it all. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want us to ruin bars and stuff.
Congrats to the lucky couple.
The thing is this.
Very good point.
I think what would be very helpful, and shout out to Jamie because she was very helpful.
Yeah.
in this
Skizit?
as well. Skizit brought the name tag stuff. We need to have a couple people on staff for this kind of situation where it's, hey, you're a PA working for us right now. Like, you're not a friend. You're not someone. Like, we should probably get someone that's like, you're going to help us with stuff. Because if this joke's gone too far, you need to be able to reach over and be like, hey, can you go over and please tell Nick to stop this stuff.
And she was great about getting me water, too.
got me a lot of water.
Jamie was great.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is it would be nice to we should think about as a company, like potentially having a couple other people who don't know who the fuck we are.
That's why
don't want us to sign their fucking chest and can just be like, do you need something?
Well, I think that's why
And then you
Barrett
go,
volunteered to come to New York.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah.
But even Barrett, the problem, you know how it's going to go. The problem is,
That's the joke. It's a long running joke on Games Daily that
is it?
he's not invited anywhere, but I invite him, but I don't pay for him to go there.
oh, fair. Oh, I mean,
We give him a paycheck.
More than welcome to come. Yeah.
But that's the problem is like anyone that works here inherently is going to be
100%.
someone wants to get to know on some level.
We're
so.
long gone between where Kevin could do things for us.
Yeah,
and
no,
stop
I mean,
going.
that's the thing too, is I looked over at the end of the night, we're on hour 3.5, and I looked over and I'm like, why does Kevin still have 30 people in line?
The line would not go away.
And then one of the people, I was like, fucking Kevin, I'm talking shit, like I always do. I'm like, fucking, oh, Kevin's over there fucking holding court, his line's so long, and one of the best friends was like, why are you so jealous of Kevin? And I was like, no, it's not that. I just want to go. I was like, oh fuck, maybe I am.
No, I think
They're like, you'll be jealous because your line's done first, and I'm like, no, fuck, it was.
I think it was Jace and Jonaju who were both sitting there, and they were like, "Man, Nick's been ready to get out of here for a while, hasn't he?" I was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
Yeah, I was still fine. It was just like, I don't know.
Again, the night before I did the thing of looking at the schedule, I'm like, oof. That's a day.
It was a day.
we
Dude, I loved it though. Like it was so nice not having a moment to like fall asleep.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, we
to
never
crash.
got to sit
The
down.
first panel was 11:30,
Yeah.
and our panel or our meet and greet was scheduled until 11. And we had shit every step of the way through that, and we ended up staying till midnight or something later than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely a gauntlet of situations, but I much prefer that to any other option where it's like, oh, you have a panel 11:30, then you have nothing until 8 p.m. because then you're just like, use everything you got.
Yeah,
and then
totally.
you just
I agree
lose
with
it.
that. I agree with
Yeah,
that.
no, I mean, I had like hour 3.5 at the meet and greet, and I had finished my line, and yeah, I was like, I could go, I could leave, but you guys were still going, and I'm like, oh, I'll just hang out. And then the problem is like, you can't hang out without people wanting to talk to you,
Because that's
I'm
the point
like,
of it, yeah.
hey, I'm gonna want to talk to these people. So at a certain point, I was talking, I forget the gentleman's name, I think it was Thomas, and he was like, am I bothering you? And I'm like, no, you're not bothering me, but what I want you to do is we're gonna keep talking, and I'm subtly gonna just go over to this bar stool and sit on it because my fucking knees and my feet hurt so badly right now. I'm like, you can keep talking to me, but I don't have the energy to be as engaging as I want to be right now with you. So
That's
just
always a
know
big
that you're
problem.
going to get probably a yes or a no from me. And if we start talking about film theory, I'm not going to be able to go too deep right now.
What do you think about the Mission Impossible series? Yes.
No, someone came up to me at like hour 3.5 was like, I can't believe you guys got through Mission Impossible 2. And I'm like, I don't have the words for how bad that movie is right now.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just pull up the link. We'll watch it together. We'll watch our in review together.
Yeah, and shout out to Jamie for bringing the name tags too. That was great.
That was clutch.
Because
We
that
need
was,
to do that.
yeah, like seeing Blanket Fort 83 and
Always put, if you are
Yeah.
somebody who we don't know by name, we know you by your Twitch name, always put that on there.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was cool to meet
Or Twitter or Instagram, whatever.
Exactly.
It is.
Whatever
Yeah.
you're known by. Whatever you're known by.
Evan
Yeah,
was
yeah.
there, who I play Fortnite and Apex with all the time. Fucking Jay, who was like at one point the Star Fox, and he changes his Twitter name all the fucking time. But him saying hi to me, I was like, oh my god, I followed you before I even worked at Rooster Teeth. Like that. This is crazy to me that I'm seeing these people for the first time. It's really cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
There's a lot of great moments, but I do feel maybe arguably the best moment and the longest running joke of the thing was when Nick Scarpino named Kevin Coelho's unborn, unconceived daughter, Paula Paula.
I don't understand why why you all think this is so funny.
Because it's a great name.
Because it's not funny.
Yeah.
But Nick just kept
That's what
walking
makes it
around,
funny.
walking around the convention, just be like, Kevin, we're gonna bring little Paula Paula here. It's like
It got cool, Greg. It got cool, Greg's laughing.
It's stupid as fuck. It makes no sense, but it's
as
dumb as naming your
cat Thomas Janine.
That was the thing. This is a real conversation from the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
When we were washing our hands, and Nick's like, he had said Paula Paula outside, and I started cracking up at the mirror with him. And I'm like, Paula Paula. And he's like, well, you know, because we've said it, it's got a 5% chance of happening. I mean, if he names his cat Thomas Janine the third, the fourth, whatever the hell the cat's
Thomas
name.
Janine Garofalo the second, but it's spelled like with 10 G's or whatever the fuck it
he's
does.
not the second. It's Janine Coelho. God,
So Paula Paula.
Oh, also,
Thomas. Janine.
also the meet,
Paula Coelho.
the meet and greets.
Yeah. No.
Let's just ease up on the alcohol.
Paula
Let me just say
Paula.
that real quick. Let's just. It got a little rowdy at some moments in the
Oh,
meet and
right,
greet.
right.
There's a couple people who got
That's a great
too
point.
Yeah.
I've talked before, and we're way too late in the
And
World
I don't
Tour
want to do
now.
that by like. I don't want to call them out, but just like.
No. You don't
know.
have to. There's been I talked about early at the start of the World Tour that I thought maybe I should make a video about, hey, you're thinking about coming to a kind of funny meet and greet. Here's what it's going to be like, right? And what that initially was is what I hope I stress at every one of these is if you're shy, if you're an introvert, come out. That describes a lot of people there. Look around. Everyone's there for the same reason. When you walk in, you can sit with anybody. Go walk over and be like, is this chair taken? They're going to be like, if it's a no, then yeah, sit down. They're going to be cool. Literally just go, so what are you playing? You'll have a conversation. What do you watch? Why do you like it? Why does KFAF suck so much? I ask those kind of questions and you'll be fine. But then since there, I would have evolved the message a few different ways. Yeah. Clearly, as I said, the Nutter Butter shit, funny, but we can't do it anymore. For real, we cannot do it
we
anymore.
fucked up the
And
bar.
again, not for me. I'm not even, I don't mind getting my
no,
pants
like-
speared, but I mean, I don't want to ruin somebody else's moment with me, and I also don't want it to be that we ruin a relationship with a vendor or a bar or whatever. Similarly, yes, drink in moderation. Do not drink to calm your nerves and then get fucked up and then like make not a scene or anything else, but where we leave and we've had those conversations in the car. At the Portillo's one in Arizona, someone got thrown out for being too drunk because they brought a flask in and drank it like to where they could barely stand up. Like,
No, you're good.
I understand again. nerves. I understand you're here to party. I understand all these things, but you need to also understand in a lot of ways what you do reflects on all of us. And I don't even mean just Kind of Funny. I mean the Kind of Funny best friends, where we talk about being this great community. We are this great community. We're all there to party. We're all there to hang out. And then, when it is somebody's fall down drunk, when there is a huge problem, when this bar, this space, wherever we are, this restaurant has agreed to most of the time, and I'm not sure about this last one, most of the time to give it to us for no cost, no promise or whatever. Portillo's for sure doesn't, charge us to come in there. They understand we're drawing business. I forget, Joey's not in the room right now to tell us what this last one was.
We paid for this.
Yeah, I think this one was we had a minimums we had to hit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But for the most time, people are helping us out, cutting us deals, and even maybe a lower price. I don't know. And even if not, that still doesn't give anybody a right to come in there and be not an asshole, but to be
belligerent.
a drunken buffoon. Yeah, and be belligerent.
I mean, there was almost like a little bit of a fight, so there was more than just a.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and from my perspective, like obviously that goes that. This
Not
advice,
just meet and greet rules.
Yeah, I was gonna
These
say
are
this
life
advice can
rules.
be applied across the board to life. Don't be the guy that everyone
No, if
goes.
you go to your sister's wedding, get fucking wasted.
Yeah, and also,
So you see a chandelier? Can you hit a chair with it?
Yeah.
I'd like to see you try.
and also,
ya.
yeah, your sister's wedding, perfect time to tell your parents what you really think of them. But no, just in general, like, and I understand, like, it's a party mood, and it's hard to moderate sometimes. But you have to be like, the thing is, it's about being respectful to everyone's time. If people are waiting to talk to one of us, like that's something they're waiting, they're being courteous, and like you don't want to disrupt that, and so that's why it's important for me to everyone, like, look, together we can all have a great time, but if you're going to be the one person who's a little too out there and kind of being distracting for us, that's not respectful for
Yeah, it
everyone
ruins
else
somebody
around
else's
them.
experience.
Yeah,
with us,
like there was a couple times where people would come up to me and like, and I'm not saying that there's an official line, but like it's a commonly understood thing is like if you're waiting 20 minutes and then you see people waiting in line, like, and you've already talked, like wait until it's all done, and then we'll hang out afterward. Like as soon as people have had their chance to talk to each and every one of us, we're probably gonna hang out a few more minutes afterward. That's the time. But yeah, just be aware of how you're coming off to the room. Like read the room a little bit, you know.
And the more positive side of this, I want to give a shout out to everybody for being so awesome for the most part of understanding a line system and kind of creating
for 99%.
99%,
Yeah.
but it's like I love it, man, and I love how respectful everyone is of each other and understanding like the amount of people that like didn't realize there was a line because like I get that like came from a different angle or whatever.
Yeah.
And there would be so many times to be like, hey, 1 second. Hey, talk to you for a second. Hey, and it just like bounce back and forth. Everyone's so cool. Everyone, thank you guys for like understanding what's going on.
And taking, there was like probably 10 or 20 people there that took multiple photos. So thank you for that. Where they're just standing
Took
around
photos
like,
for people?
hey, do you mind taking? Like, yeah, sure. Like
and
that is
another
awesome.
key thing,
Yeah.
man. I love when you guys are like, hey, can I help you take pictures
Yeah.
because that stuff makes everything go faster.
I like doing the big group. I like having like, because at one point I had 2 lines on each side. And I'll just be like, everybody, let's make a little semicircle. Let's just chat it up.
Fucking
You know
Charles
what I mean?
Barkley over here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to fucking
That's
get him
exactly
out.
what Charles Barkley did.
Charles Barkley, known for the semicircle. Charles Barkley.
The round mound
He was
rebound.
in the paint, man.
Yeah.
Down there in the paint,
Sure
you know what
was.
I mean? But it was a great meet and greet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
don't
was-
let this one criticism.
I mean,
if
here's
that
my
applies to all the other the meet and greets before.
that is the key. But real talk, I want, and this is a real challenge out there.
a fucking challenge.
Let me know, people. Have you been to meet and greets better than ours? Because I really feel like Kind of Funny meet and greets are like.
I'm Brandon Jones. Ugh, shut up.
If there's any, if you've been to better ones, let us know what we're not doing as well. Because I want to be able
a great
to
point.
do that.
That's a
because
great
like,
point.
honestly, I feel like we've got it down to a science that I feel like everyone leaves satisfied. Like I feel like everybody has a great time and leaves and is like, oh, I did everything I needed to do, which is the goal, right?
And I'm glad that everybody was able to get in because they did reach capacity.
Yeah,
and that was,
everybody's great about that. Usually
Yeah.
when they see people waiting or is stuck, that everybody cycles out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's the thing is like the best friend shit, as you know, if you've come to one of these especially, isn't bullshit. And so I do think what's heartbreaking for me is when somebody comes and then, like there was one for me in the Chicago one at Thanksgiving this year, which was just me, obviously. But there was a guy who showed up with his, I want to say girlfriend or sister, and then a younger child, and his PlayStation 4 to get signed. And I saw them come in, obviously, because they're carrying a giant PlayStation. Good job drinking, Tim. And they sat down, and then a line formed, and then hours later, I saw them leave without me stopping to. I never got a chance to say hey. So I paused my line, and I ran outside, and I was like, "Where you going?" Like, "Oh my god, yeah!" And I signed the PlayStation, I took the photo, and I went back in. I do think, and I know no one would abuse this because again, you're all best friends. If you're in that situation where you're at a meet and greet and you have a time limit, I think most people in a line, similar to the airport, if you're like, hey, I gotta get, so many people are like, I gotta get to work tonight. The kids gotta go to bed, blah, 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 blah. I think if you actually express that to people in front of like, I don't mean to be a dick, but this is happening, I swear, like, that usually is going to work into your favor in terms of like, yeah, we're going to take care of everybody. Yeah.
There was a guy there who was like on his break, I believe, because he was working at a bar nearby. He's like, I have 30 minutes. I just wanted to say hi real quick. Thank you for everything.
There were the two little girls. Kevin made a point to be like, hey, you got to see them. Like, their bedtime's coming up. And I think it was a similar thing of like, their dad didn't want to be like, I'm going to cut in front of these people. I'm going to do this thing. So it was like, well, sure, but I'll get over there and do it. But like, you can always make that happen too. We all understand.
Basically, if you bring a child or a baby, you get carte blanche.
Yeah.
You get to cut the line.
If your child brings an adorable sign, I might throw it in their face, almost make them cry, and then some pile drive them at the end of the panel.
Yeah, and
That's
I'll give them the 3
for
count.
a different time. Thank you very much for that. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kinda Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4 best friends gather on this table, each bringing whatever's happening in their lives. If you like that, it's so bad. Kevin, did you see the footage?
No.
Kevin showed me the footage. Oh my God.
It's scary.
Poor Liam. Poor Liam.
Little Liam almost cried.
Cool Greg doesn't even know about this. Like,
But he's going to like it. I fixed
Oh, wait.
it.
Are you
I
talking about
fixed
the
it.
footage of you throwing it in his face?
Yes.
Yeah. That kid almost cried.
But then I saved it immediately. I'm going to be a great dad. I'm going to scar him and then fix it.
Yeah. That's how
I
it
don't know,
works.
man. Like, I feel like by saving it, he was just panicking because you now then run at him.
Big man run.
He's like,
Big man run.
Whatever. Then he sat on stage. He was part of the panel. He had a great time.
I guess.
Liam right in. Let him know.
Kids are like goldfish, man. They don't remember any of this stuff.
Exactly. The dad put it up on Reddit. He said he had a great time. I digress. If you like that, go to patreon.com/kindafunny. You can get the shows early there. As early as us recording them, they are ad-free. Plus, they get that pre- and post-show. But if you don't want to pay for early access, I understand. You can wait till Friday. It goes up with ads on youtube.com/kindafunny and roosterteeth.com and podcast services around the globe. But you don't get that pre- and post-show. Until next time, we're about to do a post-show. It's been our pleasure to serve you.
Can we tell the story on the post show, Greg?
Sure, of
Yeah, we're
Liam.
doing that.
Yeah, let's tell the Liam post show story.
Sure. Well, it gets even better. So, because like, have you been following the whole subreddit thing?
Are we in the post show now?
Yeah, we're in the post
Yeah,
show.
great.
Yeah. So
Start at the beginning.
I'm gonna start at the beginning, and then I'll go back to the Reddit thing.
Yes.
So we're doing the panel. Everything's great.
Great panel. You're
As-
trying to get some kid to drink a whole fucking gallon of pizza
drank
sauce.
it.
He did it. He did it. He did
And
it. And then we all
then he
signed it.
showed up to the meet and greet, and I was like, "Are you
I
okay?"
stole some Papa John's sauce from the back.
Yeah.
We figured out how to open it without getting it on the ground, which is the only thing anybody
It
was
was super fresh.
super fresh.
Yeah.
And then in the front row was a dad with his son Liam.
Yeah.
Liam brought a little sign on a piece of paper as big as this. As big as this. I can't read it. It's been written in pen. I'm not even really acknowledging it. But at some point, as usual, guess what, everybody? The 2 eels from Little Mermaid, Andy and Nick, show up, and they're fucking jabbering at me on the goddamn panel about a KFAF this. You know what I mean? Fucking trying to summon Ursula. And Andy goes, look at this kid's sign. It says KFAF is the best. And I said, oh, does it really? So I got up and walked to the edge and said, let me see your sign. And he came up holding it. Again, I can't read it.
This adorable little, like, 8-year-old boy.
He looked like just pure as the driven
Like a
snow.
cherub.
Yeah.
No one ever done anything wrong. He had big, beautiful, fluffy blonde hair, these doughy blue eyes, and it was like this. This guy's my hero.
He saw
He looked
saw
like hero.
Superman. Yeah.
Oh,
Looked like Cool
Superman.
Greg as a kid.
Yeah.
You
Looked
had
like Cool
to
Greg as a
imagine.
child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound hard as fuck to me.
Liam bounces back just like Cool Greg would. You got a bunch of softies here. I know Cool Greg could take this, and so did Liam. Liam, Cool Greg's your future. I go,
I got
let me
to stay
see
in
your,
school.
let me see your sign. And he brings it up, and I still can't read it. So I snatch it out of his hand, and I ball it up a bit and throw it in his face and yell about KFAF. And as soon as I do it, Liam goes from
He does
smiling
this.
happy.
He does this. He's like this, gets stoned, and he's
ran to his dad.
Runs back to his dad. And in the moment, I throw the paper and I hear the jeers from the crowd, like the stun. And then I see Liam run.
Yeah.
I go, oh, I made a miscalculation.
Yeah.
And I jump off stage and I chase him over there. Don't show this yet. I
yet.
get off stage. I run over there. I immediately grab him like, no, I'm just kidding. Come on, Liam. And I'm like, Emma, do you want to come on? We bring him on stage. We put him on stage with us. He does the rest of the panel up there. Everybody, deservedly so, gives me a ton of shit. Liam sits in my seat. I sit there and I just get berated by Nick about how bad this was and what a dumb thing to do. You ruined this kid's life. I'm like, it's fair. That's fair. That's fair. So I sit there. We come back up. Liam's on the panel. He has a bunch of dynamite drop-ins.
He was great. I asked him, what do you want to be when he grows up? And he
Space
told me
scientist.
space scientist.
Great one.
Space
Great one.
scientist.
Yeah. We do the Q&A. Liam's answering questions along with it. He's doing a great job.
At this point, I think to myself, wow, Greg's really redeeming himself
Yeah.
here. Like, he's doing a knockout job of making this kid feel super comfortable and not physically assaulting him at all.
The panel ends, and I forget what happened or was said.
It was a KFAF question. This guy said something about Nutter Butters. KFAF for streamies. To which I stood up and I was like, and thank you, Kansas City. What a beautiful panel that was.
And while Andy's saying that, I turned to Liam. I'm like, hey, is it all right if I roughhouse you? And he goes, what? And I go, okay. And I go, I was gonna let it end on your question, but that's a bad question. Instead, I'm gonna tombstone pile drive Liam. And I drop the mic, bring up him, tombstone pile drive him,
Flip
pin him
him
like the
upside
Undertaker.
down.
It's a tombstone pile
Yeah,
driver.
but people fucking don't know what that is, maybe.
Oh, everyone
you
knows
took
what a tombstone fucking pile driver
You took
is.
a child and flipped him upside down, held him, and then dropped his to your knees.
I'm a two-time BYWF champ. You think I don't know how to do a tombstone pile driver?
He doesn't know that.
Kid weighs 60 pounds.
doesn't know that.
He was laughing the entire time.
He was
I hit him like
down.
He was playing dead in hopes that you'd
Fucking
stop
arms
touching
over
him.
and stick your tongue out.
It's an Undertaker impression, cool, Greg. I have to cross the arms and put my tongue out. And Andy drops down like
got
the
him on the
professional
3 count.
he is.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Panel's over. Everybody has a great time. We're not even to the restaurant afterwards. And Liam Dad has posted an Imager thing up there of like, Liam had a great time.
Yes.
This was amazing. Look at him up there. All these amazing things. The next day, when I had commented on some of the threads or whatever there, I was like, a tombstone pile drive this kid. He was like, Liam wants a rematch. He put up an Imager thing, Liam looking tough. And I'm like, great. And then I had mentioned the whole, this was such a great thing. And somebody, then I'm on my phone, I think on the airplane. And I have Reddit notifications turned on. And so somebody responded to a thing and it was just like, how much can change in a month? And I was like, what do you mean? And I opened it up and it was from a month ago. It was an Imager picture that was, my son's going to bring this sign to the Kind of Funny panel. And I responded, that's awesome or something. I can't wait to meet him. And it was this sign, Kevin, throw it up, that says Kind of Funny Superfan.
What a sweetheart. What a little cutie.
I know.
Man, you're a monster,
Greg
dude.
Miller, you, one of the biggest human beings I've ever met.
6'4".
See up
Stood
there it says no. he
ran
loves
at
your
this
podcast.
8-year-old, grabbed this and crumpled it up and threw
I just
it at
bounced
him.
it off his fluffy, beautiful little head.
To be fair, Nick and Andy got in your head.
Nick and Andy got mad. It's there. They push me. No one understands that I get pushed to this level.
I don't know what got into my head to make it. I don't know why I thought the sign said Greg sucks or something like that.
No, you didn't even say it.
You said
kid showed
KFAF
the
rocks or
sign,
whatever.
Yeah.
And I think I said, oh, look, Greg, it said KFAF something.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the
just
sign
said
says.
that. Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
just, it was
we
40
were
feet away from
further
me.
away than you.
Yeah. And Greg grabbed it. And you were playing
Neither
the
you wear glasses.
Grabbed it and went.
just fucking. And I don't understand why you think.
As I said in the post, as soon as it was over and Liam was up there having a great time and we talked about it, if I could go back 15 seconds, would I do things differently? Of course I would. But we didn't, and this is where we're at, and Liam's having a great time. And one
Let's
day
roll
Liam's
with
going to
it.
work
That's
for us
what
or murder
matters.
us.
he's
gonna
fine.
be great.
He's fine.
You see his
and
revenge face? It was pretty scary.
was.
I don't
Liam's
know,
in.
man. He's coming back.
I just don't know why you think that we push you to your wits' end. I don't know what specific examples from the last 48 hours make you think that Andy and I would fuck with you so badly that would break
See,
you.
show that part of it, Kev. You just show the image. It says right there, Liam had a great time. You know what I mean? Chad Boyce.
That's not
Cosmo
the guy.
Kramer
That's not the
23.
dad.
Yeah,
That's
it
a
is.
totally different guy.
That is one. No.
This guy's
I'm just saying, that was a memory Liam will never forget. Chad will never forget.
There's Liam.
Chad, if you're listening to this, thank Liam for us and tell him he was an awesome sport.
Oh, Liam's listening to this right now.
I know, but
He's plotting his
explain to
revenge.
him that he was awesome and he was the highlight of the panel. And
I'll tell you what, guys.
Don't
If
be
you
like
can
that.
get me another,
Gary Gookage.
if you guys can get me another game award, Liam can come out and super kick me while I accept it.
I love it. I love it.
it's perfect. God, what a fucking
That
what
was
a panel.
That was a great
What a
panel.
It was
great-
a great panel.
Horrible and amazing 48 hours of our life. Just
It was honestly that was one of my favorite cons we've done.
There was a
very
range of
long
emotion.
time, man.
was
The whole
good.
thing was great.
Right? Like there was, and I think maybe because it was just the one day thing where we're used to RTX, we're used to, well, not even PAX it so much at this point, but like RTX reminds you of like the fun ass time that is super exhausting where it's, you're out all day, you're there from 9 in the morning until 3 in the morning the following day, and you sleep and you wake up again at 9 in the morning. and that's for a whole weekend.
It's that convention life.
This time we had that one full day, but still knew that
Dude, like,
we're
honestly,
out tomorrow.
This was perfect for me
This
because
is
I
great.
get antsy with conferences. I don't like them to go too long, but like hitting it full day of conferences, quick dinner, 4-hour meet and greet, fancy, and then we're home the next day. It's fucking perfect.
Eating some
It was
combos.
perfect. It was awesome, and no one got paralyzed. Fantastic. Nobody broke their spine.
Do you know how many things would have had to go wrong for me to paralyze Liam? Now, are they impossible? No. I'm just saying. I mean, that when he bought the ticket and he came in, he signed the waiver. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like Liam knew what he was up against.
We've never had a convention have the behind the scenes people come up on stage as much as they did in this one, checking in on us, making sure we weren't crossing in. Hey, don't get pizza sauce on the rugs. Hey,
That was all they were worried
Don't kill
about.
a child.
They didn't care about Liam. They literally only came out, don't get pizza sauce on the rug. The beer drinking, the bourbon drinking, they had no problem with. They didn't want to see my nips.
Yeah,
no nips.
No nips either.
But they played along with that. They were
What
fun
a
about
show.
Oh my god.
What a show.
We fucking crushed it. That was a great
Dustin
panel. You know
Cunningham.
what I mean?
Dustin Cunningham in the chat goes, got here late. What did Greg do?
Here's the thing. Dustin Cunningham, if I were to tell you that Greg Miller grabbed fan art from an 8-year-old, bottled it up, and threw it in his face, would you believe me? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. That is what happened.
Yeah.
It got resolved. It got resolved. It was an
I was
accident.
duped.
It
All
was an
right. I was
accident.
told it was KFAF propaganda.
Can you imagine how funny it was, though?
Me and
'Cause it was very
Tim
funny.
did a Let's Play earlier in the day, and I got a fucking nosebleed right before it. And I haven't had a nosebleed in ages.
It was
but I
probably
think
the-
it was the altitude because
was the altitude.
I heard some people walking behind us on the street say like, "Oh,
Dryness,
the
too.
altitude up
Dryness.
here."
Yeah.
Man, it was like we're getting ready to go up, and I just go like this, and just streak of red. I was like,
The
"Oh my
altitude
god!"
of Kansas City?
That's what people were saying in the streets.
I think it was more the dry. I think it was more the dryness because it was pretty dry out there, even though it was like it was just cold and dry.
I don't know what it was. Either way, my
hands
nose was
were
bleeding.
dry.
I was like, "Oh my god, I'm about to go up in like 5 minutes."
It might have actually been the plane flight too. Plane flight dries you out.
40
Topher
feet.
Man says, Tim, you said I look like a sexy
909.
Steve Carell. Sorry, I confused you during Internet Explorer.
I don't know.
You do look like a sexy Steve Carell. And I didn't hear what Nick said. I just kind of, uh-huh-ed him as I said stuff. So sorry about that. There was one thing you said to me today at Internet Explorers that you were reading the chat, and you're like, oh, something on a nickname. And I was just like, yeah.
No,
And I had no
it's-
idea what
It's
you're
all
saying.
a blur.
But
at
yeah,
this
there you
point.
go. So sorry about that.
Just glad.
Are
no
you
one
doing a meet
died.
and greet during RTX? Probably not, because we're always super busy, and
Come
that's
to the panel.
we're always just there. Yeah.
Come to the panel. Come to the show.
There's sometimes where I'll just walk on the floor like with Tim or Nick and be like, "Hey, come see us."
Yeah, we'll be doing a ton
I'm
of stuff
here.
at RTX.
Yeah.
itself.
Havoc Maker, KFAF skit, Andy and Nick help Liam get revenge.
I mean, who's to say we haven't thought of that yet?
Yeah, here's the thing. We could dress
hate
Cool
you
Greg up
guys.
as Liam and have him terrorize Greg.
Oh my God, that's the video.
Yeah.
Is like Liam, we
10
get,
years
we get
later.
footage of him like doing
And
a
it's like,
bag. and then
it's like Cape, what was it?
Fear.
Cape Fear. He's fucking doing pull-ups. It's like fear on his
we cut
knuckles.
to Cool Guy like, oh my God.
It just says Greg Miller on his knuckles. That's a good skit, guys. We're doing this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast and the post show. We've had a lot of fun in this episode.
Great one.
You know what I mean? I'm going to
Great
read
one.
some ads, then we're going to finally do this weekly meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got another big week ahead of us. Are you going to jury duty or no? What's happening?
Yeah, we're good for tomorrow.
Cool.
We have to check in every day.
Cool. All right. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to say bye.